The following program contains adult language and juvenile conversations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, I gotta start this show off with an apology. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And my antics went just a little too far last week. I insulted just about everyone. I especially feel bad, coming from, that part of, Worcester mostly, my Irish brothers and sisters. I feel bad what I said. Now, I apologize, so I think the Irish should do the right thing now and bring me the only good thing they ever did, which is a cookie puss, and specifically a cookie O-push. So please bring a cookie O-puss to 999 Zombie Drive, Zombie Lake Facade, and address it to Dynamo Susan Mars. And I would love a delicious cookie O-push to celebrate my Irish American, I apologize, heritage. And now, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 311 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we offend every person possible. Right, Dynamo?
Mostly just me. I'll give credit where credit's due.
Yes.
Yeah.
An episode full of pissing people off, and I miss it.
I know. Where were you, Aries?
Damn it!
I picked up the slack for you.
I hope you had fun, Aries.
No, I did not.
You know
Although
what's-
he was making fun of your people.
Maybe we should call this Trick or Treat Radio.
You know what's amazing about it? I realized when I was looking at it is that Aries kind of looks like Cookie O-puss.
That's mean.
Well, no,
He doesn't
Wow.
look
Does
like
Cookie
He
O-puss
doesn't have
have
a
a
penis
beard?
for a nose.
no, he doesn't. That's the
Well,
that's
I
the
don't know
major
about
difference.
that. He doesn't have a beard.
He's like if Cookie O-puss had a much handsome. Well, the beard is the crumble.
Aries
right?
looks like Cookie O-puss if you added a beard and took away the penis nose.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
no, because Cookie O-puss I think has like cookie crumbles for a beard.
a cookie crumble beard.
I think so.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
good.
so I don't know. But nobody could say I'm not a bigger man than people accuse me of being. I apologize. So
You're a smaller man than you used to be.
yeah, I'm way smaller. After walking around sweltering San Francisco for a few days didn't do me any favors either. Sweating in places I didn't know I had. Actually, it's fucking beautiful there, to be honest. Like, all bits aside, like the weather there was just about perfect. It was like
While you're
70.
there, does it siphon money out of your checking account just being there?
All right. So you have to realize who went. There were no special lady friends or anything else. So if that wrestling show didn't happen, there's a pretty good chance that me, El Goro, and Jakey wouldn't have left the hotel room.
You would have watched movies, drank Mountain Dew.
We drank Mountain Dew and tequila.
There would have been a human centipede in
Yeah.
there.
We watched.
Goro won't stand for that.
We watched Truck Stop
Hold
Girls,
my head.
which was a very politically correct
Yes.
70s film about the life and hardship of women bandits in the 70s and women bandit prostitutes. And we watched a film called Caged Heat.
Nice,
That was
yeah.
about not
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
I know that one.
Not
Oh,
that
okay.
one, no. That was about a actress who was wrongly accused. And
Aren't they always?
yeah, and she had to end up going to the Steel Clink Alcatraz and had to deal with the the typical evil lesbian warden and
Nice.
my favorite.
I love evil lesbian wardens.
I had to go to jail 3 times before I got one of them. But she is rescued by Chips Eric Estrada and a martial arts. I believe the term that Jakey used was dojo bro, who looked like Murderface from the Metalocalypse. And every opportunity that
I'm gonna join my band, Planet Pitch.
Yep. Every opportunity there was a break in the movie, it showed him breaking bricks or something. Just so at the end, when he got through the prison from kicking through the side wall, you knew that he had that ability to just fucking bust shit up. So it's good. And we watched Seven Curse, and
Oh, that's the best.
we went and saw New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of the coolest live shows that I've ever seen. It exceeded. I knew it was going to be a good show.
I didn't like it as much as our G1 show, but maybe that's because I wasn't there.
I
Our
don't.
G1
show, I
show.
wasn't
Yeah, I
there.
don't know. Well, I don't know. I think it was a different show. Like it was a different show. Like this was more of I think a New Japan show than like the kind of weird multi-man.
No,
the lucha stuff.
no,
that they-
Mr. Ass.
No, thank fucking goodness for that. But yeah, I mean the building wasn't full, but it also felt full. Like
Well, you were in the Hallowed Halls.
yeah, it was fucking great. The legendary Cow Palace, which
Wow.
was the last. I think the last because Madison Square Garden's not Madison Square Garden anymore. I'm not gonna get fucking tricked.
I didn't even think Cow Palace was still around.
Oh man, it looks exactly the same as it did from when you would see the old fucking San Francisco shows from the outside. They're here at the Cow Palace. It looks the fucking same. Like the picture I took could have been that
yeah,
fucking
it did-
picture
I saw that and I was like, wow, it does look
yeah,
exactly the same.
before fucking Ray Stevens and Sailor Art Thomas got down in the Cow Palace in like 1976.
There's 3 people out there that know what you're talking about.
It's okay. It's okay. It was such a fucking good time, and I don't know. I was strangely nervous because like I would just like I was super energetic, and I was like so happy to be hanging out with those guys. I was fucking bubbling over with my happiness, and Jakey is when Jake gets somewhere, he kind of is like a fucking. It's like wherever we go is his, and he's just a phenomenal host, and like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it was a great time. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I had a good time. And I made a
Awesome,
lot of
man.
Irish friends out there. I did.
You better apologize because we're reviewing an Irish film.
I met
shit.
some of the 85 Celtics. They're
And-
Irish, right?
And the 85 Celtics.
Yeah, he's a Celtic fan. He's a Notre Dame fan.
Right. I like the Hunchback.
Yeah.
One thing I always,
And he ate Lucky Charms.
one
when
thing
I
I've
did.
always wondered, why have you guys ever wondered why they call them the Celtics and not the Celtics?
Because it's Boston.
Is that just a colloquialism?
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just Boston. It just got
A
fucking beat down.
Bostonism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
Wait till 2025 when they're spelling socks with an A and an X.
Swarks.
Yeah.
The fucking
The
socks
Boston
kid.
Red Swarks.
be. No, that's the New Yorker's way of talking. Let me tell you.
The New Yorker, like
New
that.
Yorker.
He would know. Actually.
I would
yeah.
know.
He
I
lives
would
with
know
one.
better than anybody.
Yeah.
Believe me. Because you try talking. You try, like if you're talking to a New Yorker and you say, and I've done this with my girlfriend. I said, say dog, and she'll go dog, and I'm like, it's not dog, it's dog, D-O-G, not D-U-O-G or the D-U-O-double-G. It's D-O-G. Say dog. And I'm like, ah, Christ.
I thought you were going to say you knew a lot about the New Yorker because you look like a Ronald Reagan character on the cover of the New Yorker magazine.
Well,
Like the Land of Confusion puppet I do this show with every single week.
Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Oh, not your best impersonation, but I appreciate it.
Very culturally relevant now.
Yeah, right.
Well, enough about that. We've offended so many people over the years that I don't think we have to apologize too much. But we do have a guest in studio. I want to get to the guest right now and introduce everyone because there are people out there saying Dynamo looks different this week because
It looks good.
He does. He looks better. It's an
Yeah.
improvement. But let me catch up on the chat room real quick. And Slegoth's hanging out,
My boy.
nice.
and he says, "I love to eat me some cookie puss." I don't know. If
Yeah, you do. You're into that
I don't
fucking
know if he
weirdo.
means
We know
the
where
cake.
he's going. We know
They're
where
more
he's
Fudgy
going.
the Whale kind of guy.
And Creepy Girl says, "No idea what that was about. I'm Irish."
Yeah, way to go there.
Yeah, way
True.
to go,
Go,
Mars.
Mars.
Way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Evil
Hey.
Corny says, "What's up, guys?"
If it's up to you, Creepy Girl, I love the Irish.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm Irish American, I was told, so I'm like I don't have a fucking horse. Yeah. Well, last week I said I was Irish, and I was corrected. I'm Irish American, so I don't have a fucking horse in the race apparently.
Oh, they're bony fingered into the plucky flower.
Slegoth said, "That is a human centipede I never want to see." That's you, Jakey, and Goro.
That's a human centipede that El Goro might have saw if he woke up.
And Matchell of Omaha is
Yes.
hanging out. He says, "Hey, all, listening, watching live while doing some work. Hope folks are well." Thanks, Matchell.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in. Evil Corny is hanging out. He says, "Hey, Slagoth, you mother lover."
Yes.
And
Corey's a dude, you know.
and then also, I'm Broke Son's hanging out.
There you go. There you go. It's my boy right
He
there.
says, "Fuck everything about New York except the New York Football Giants."
Nah, fuck
And
them
and
too.
that wax museum's okay too.
That's fair.
All right, so we let's go over what we're doing tonight. We're going to be talking about a film called The Devil's Doorway from IFC Midnight, and first-time director Ashleen Clark. And so we're going to be discussing that, and then later on we're going to be talking about our favorite cinematic exorcism scenes. She's done some shorts. Yeah, this is her first feature film. And she does have. I just saw today, actually, or last couple of days, that she has 2 more pictures in the sort of coming down the pike, so to speak. She has a deal with, I can't remember the name of the company. A company is Fantasia in Ireland. Is it Fantasia? Anyways, no, I know it's I know that it's a film festival, but I believe it's the same thing. I'll look it up and find out. But yeah, so she has 2 more pictures that she's going to be working on with them. And later on, we're going to be talking about our favorite cinematic exorcisms. So if you guys want to submit yours, you can. We're looking for the scene. Obviously, let us know what movie it's from, but your favorite exorcism scene from a movie. So go ahead and send those in if you're listening live. You can send them to podcast@trickortreatradio.com in the form of a voicemail or an email. Raven Shadow, does that remind you of the Wonder Twins? In the form of
Oh, yeah.
a voicemail.
There you go. Form of a tweet. Yeah.
Form of an
You know
email.
what this is all
Yeah.
about, you Wonder Twin, you Wonder Twin
ampersand.
motherfucker.
Form of an ampersand.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. That's the kids. They say that nowadays. I don't know.
And joining us for all of that is
Maybe.
yeah, at least some of it is our friend, filmmaker, and all-around awesome dude, and also the creator of the Shauna Shea Film Festival. We'll hear a little bit more about that. We have Skip Shea joining us.
Here.
Thanks. I guess I'm the token Irish American here. I am the apology.
That's To apologize to everyone, we invited Skip.
To apologize, we brought in an actual Irishman.
As opposed to the one that sits next to you.
To be fair, we kind of
300
got like
Oh, come on. He doesn't even realize
Irish
we're
Mount
talking about.
Rushmore right here.
His name's Aries. That's not Irish.
What is it?
Aries, oh God.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Greek.
Aries.
Oh, Aries.
Oh, Aries.
Yeah. That's what all the women.
I know. I put it on a T for you. There you go. Aries, oh God.
But they say it right before a freeze frame and funny music starts. Oh, Aries.
It happens to a lot of gods. Poseidon last week. Yeah. It's really bad. It's okay.
It wasn't the Poseidon Adventure, that's for sure. Something sank.
So it's a pleasure to have Skip here. We saw Skip a couple weeks ago at the Survival of the Film Freaks rap party / I guess it was sort of the debut of the film amongst family and friends, but we get to hang out with Skip a little bit there, and we talk about having him back on again. So, Skip, I guess this is a good opportunity to talk about what's been going on in your neck of the woods. I know things have been a little hectic with the Shauna Shea Film Festival coming up, and you're working on some other stuff as well.
Yeah, actually, I'm you mentioned Fantasia. I'm going up to Montreal next week.
That's awesome.
Cool.
To the frontiers, to the film market. I've already got like 3 meetings lined up. I got
shit.
Wow.
5 more potentially. So I'll be pitching, I'll be selling, I'll be doing all that fun stuff up there, and hopefully seeing some movies.
Yeah.
So I've been. This is the part of the job that is just terrible. I've been writing executive summaries, budgets, comps to the film, and just all the stuff that makes your eyes roll over in your head. But I'm ready, good to go. They're all printing now. and I'll be up in Montreal next week.
Now, is this for Trinity, for Seeds, or sort of everything?
I have everything.
Yes.
I have Trinity and Seeds I have meetings for, but then I have a script called The Old Milltown.
Yep.
I have a meeting for that. I have a script called Strega, which I want to shoot in Italy, and I have a meeting for that.
Oh, yeah.
And then this guy from Belgium who's there contacted me, and he has this one region in Belgium that if we film everything there, he has money for us. So I'm actually adapting an old script, Micro Cinema, which is the feature length to the short, and I'll shoot that there. And then there's the thing I wrote with Kip Weeks.
Yep.
And I'll be pitching that. So I'm just
awesome.
Whatever anyone's interested in, I will talk about.
Oh man,
Cool.
That's amazing. It sounds like there's a lot of really good stuff going on, and
Yeah, it should be fun.
yeah, I would love to see Micro Cinema. I thought was such a great short, so I would love to see that expanded out. I think it could make a really interesting feature. So I'm glad to hear that that's something you've actually thought of.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have to say, and I think that this is a weird compliment, so people probably don't like say it in this term, but I admire your busyness, your prolificness. Like that nothing is more sexy to me than that. Like just fucking getting out there and doing it.
Let's put MZ between you two.
And I'm Irish American, so
Right.
I've got it all.
It counters out.
Going on right
Yeah.
No, I mean that's why I just stay home and work. That's pretty much all I do.
Good.
So
And so with the Shawnee Film Festival coming up, have you done a good? I assume you've done a good amount of planning and getting films all set for that.
yeah, we're still submissions close
Yep.
in August. But I will say that we will be showing Bill's film there.
Oh, awesome! That's great.
So
There's a couple of fucking good-looking guys in that movie, so you'll probably have the female.
there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Eric and
No, I wasn't saying it was us.
yeah,
No.
yeah, definitely not us.
Jimmy, Eric, all those guys.
Yeah.
I think soon I'll have some pretty cool announcements to make. I think we're going to have a couple of pretty big films, bigger than we've had. We keep growing every year to faster than we're ready for at times. So last year was pretty big. Dogged. We had the world premiere.
Yeah.
We had the world premiere of that. We've had a premiere of Luigi's Cozy's film the year before. So, and actually, Luigi May were in talks, but he may be back with another film this year. It's going to be a fun festival, and we're growing fast.
That's amazing. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that that's doing so well for you. When is the date of the Shawnee Film Festival?
It's
the dates.
The 4th, 5th, and 6th of October.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I think that's Columbus Day weekend or whatever.
I think that's
whatever
the
we call
weekend
it.
before Rock and Shock.
Yep.
So
Yes.
And the good news is, the bad news is my 2 weeks ago after I talked to you, my boss said that I couldn't have that weekend off. The good news is that she fucking pretty much fired me. So I'll be there. Can't wait.
in fact, you'll volunteer.
I might have time to make a movie.
Yeah.
Hey.
Submissions in August.
Yeah.
You might have time.
is there any money involved in this for me?
Nice.
So Skip, if folks out there listening want to submit a film, how would they go about doing that?
Go to the Shawnee Film Festival website, or they could just actually go right to Film Freeway and type in Shawnee Film Festival, and it'll come up. And there it is.
There you go. So if anyone out there listening would like to submit, and is it features? Is it shorts? Is it both?
We do it all. We do it
Do it
all.
all. Okay,
I
cool.
mean, we normally have a one great horror block, and I've been working on this for years to get a full 2-hour block of just experimental films, and I think we'll have it this year.
Oh, nice.
So just 2 hours of just straight up weirdness. And,
Man.
I'm really excited about that. We have some amazing docs that I will be able to announce pretty soon.
Yeah.
Coming in outside of Bill's. It's going to be, and then I'm working on a fairly substantial film to come in as well.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's amazing. So we'll keep you guys updated, and I'm sure we'll have Skip on again before then if he has time. He's got so much going on. But
It's such a long drive for me to get here.
Exactly. We didn't warn Skip about the temperature in the studio, and he was all decked out, had a sweater on. He's wearing like 3 layers. So
I thought you would have like the AC blast.
Me too, Skip.
Yeah,
fucking hot.
I think we all did.
I think it'll cool down by the time the show ends.
Jokes on everybody.
sure, like
that
last
motherfucker's blasting right now.
Yeah, it is actually. It's literally on the highest possible setting.
Yeah.
And I had just literally come right from the gym, and I was still sweating when I got here, so this isn't really helping. So awesome. Well, glad to hear that there's so much going on in your neck of the woods, Skip. And if people want to go check out the Shauna Shea Film Festival, just look it up online. And is there social media where you're going to announce any future screenings, or is it mostly on the website, on Facebook?
No, we announce it on both Twitter and on Facebook. That's where all the announcements come out.
Okay. So if you guys want to look that up and follow along, go ahead and just look for the Shauna Shea Film Festival, and I'm sure you can find it. Most of you are, well, some of you are savvy.
What? Don't embarrass me in front of Skip.
I should probably add that this is a benefit.
Yes.
For the Shauna E. Shea Memorial Foundation, Inc., where we are a nonprofit, and all the money goes to scholarships in Uxbridge and Southbridge right now.
Yeah.
We're looking to expand, and we do a fellowship to a first-time female filmmaker who's actually going to have one of these experimental films this year. I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
So we help a first-time female filmmaker, make her first movie. I meet with her, we mentor her. And then we show the world premiere. Then they're off and running with it after that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
cool. So we're we have a great horror block that usually that's where most of the money seems to come in for that block.
Yeah.
But it's I'm grateful that everybody who helps out and donates and gives because it's a good way for us to keep Shauna's memory alive.
Absolutely. And you had it kind of explained last time that we had you on, and you said it's kind of like I'm probably not going to quote it as well as I recall, but you said something that she was kind of
free spirit.
Yeah, and this sort of embodies her spirit. Like this kind of film festival is kind of on the fringe.
Yeah, she was fringe. Yeah. This absolutely reflects her spirit perfectly.
Yeah.
We couldn't run a normal film festival and have it reflect her at all.
Yeah.
It would be too boring. So
well, it's amazing, and it's so cool to see all the things you're doing with it, and it's so great to especially with the money to one lucky filmmaker is going to get to be able to make a film, and that it's such a cool thing. So everyone should go check it out. And if people can't attend, Skip, is there any way for people to just give money to the festival?
There is a link on the foundation site, which you can get to through the film festival site as well, for anyone to donate. The Shauna E. Shea Memorial Foundation. We have a Facebook page for that too.
Excellent. So, if you guys want to, you can easily check that out. And it looks like ShaunaFoundation.org. Is this the one?
That's it right there.
All right. So right there right now. So if you guys want to, and I see the donate button right there. So if you're not, anywhere in the area and, you still want to help out, you can go ahead and donate.
And it's tax deductible.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go. So, consider helping out because it goes to a great cause. So
Thank you.
Absolutely. Feel free to. What are you doing, Mars?
Oh, I just want to see if.
No one can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just concerned that Skip still had the marks on his back from carrying Raven Shadow through that whole last show last night. Talking about maybe the best and worst host we ever had.
Good to have the yin and the yang.
Yeah,
the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Dynamo, I know you're getting ready to do a show yourself and you're getting makeup, but you have to go outside and get Raven Shadow so we could announce the next band.
I was talking to the people.
Right.
It's networking.
That was thank you, Skip. Thank you. I was plugging.
You're supposed to be on stage talking to the crowd.
I didn't know that was time yet.
You didn't know it was time yet. So
No.
If smoking was allowed in the building, you would have been up on that
Well,
stage.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
In the old days, I would have been.
in the old days,
Yeah.
when they allowed it,
Yeah, when you could be in smoking doors like a grown-up. It's classy. It's classy.
It's not classy.
What's classy?
Not only do you want to kill yourself, you want to kill everyone else.
Let's all go. Fuck it. We're all done. I'm thinking all
I'm
with
gonna
me.
go. I'm taking you bastards with me.
That was nice. But it was a community. It was a community. You can all die together. No, I know. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm being outrageous.
Yeah.
You're being outrageous because you know how.
I am. I'm sorry.
Christ. Why don't we all drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. But yeah, last time we did hang out with Skip in public was at the Darkness for Light show, and that was a fucking blast.
It was. That was a great time.
Yeah. it was,
Yeah.
And thanks for asking me.
No, because thank you, because you were and are a big inspiration to KMC, and in addition to that, a big inspiration to me. But also, like to put it in pro wrestling terms, you got over, brother.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
And he didn't even go into business for himself.
Nope, not at all. When did the thing.
He was
Nice.
did a yeoman's work there.
Right.
I don't remember the show being a good time. I thought it was. Oh yeah, that's right. You left me
you
at
were
the
you were
booth the
selling
entire time.
Yeah, you were selling brownies and raffle tickets.
You did a really
Thank God
good
you
job.
were.
Yeah, you did
Shunned
your
me to
part.
the back of the room.
You couldn't.
Thank God you were bad at selling brownies, because those were fucking delicious at the end of the night.
I wasn't bad at them. I sold almost all of them.
I don't know. I feel like I ate a bunch.
You bought
Because you did.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, you did your part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I.
Just because I sold 15 pounds doesn't mean someone didn't bring in 20 pounds.
Yeah, no brownies left behind.
Yeah.
No, Jesus Christ.
Confectionery lives matter.
Oh, don't even go
What?
there, please.
Yeah, yell at him when I say make a joke.
Yeah.
Yell at him.
Shut up, Raven Shadow.
Yeah.
You gonna say I'm a bully this week?
Skippy's such a
I
fucking
thought it was
bully.
Montezero that said
You don't even know what he does when you're not here.
it. Well, he could listen.
So bad.
He may listen.
When you're
If
not
he,
here,
if
he's
he
a
wanted to,
completely
he
different person.
could. Not saying he should.
So bad.
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and introduce everyone, Raven Shadow. I know
Sure.
you like that.
I enjoyed that part a little bit.
A little?
A little scotch.
Well, I guess if you don't like it that much.
No,
you
I
don't
mean,
have to do it.
I don't know.
Well, if you like it a little, we'll just do a little intro.
Yeah, we'll just do two
just
of your.
the tip of the intro. No, I really enjoyed that part.
No shit.
Yeah.
Because you clap for yourself. when
I
they
just I
introduce
clap
you.
for all of us.
No,
No.
you clap for yourself.
Well,
It's a little weird.
It is.
That's not weird.
No, it's a lot weird.
a lot of people clap for themselves when they're introduced.
Is it a nervous thing?
No, it's just no. Just,
You
know,
pat
just
yourself,
celebrate.
please. You pat
Like-
yourself on the back more than Barry Horowitz.
Well, you know.
Like, I talk a lot. I talk a lot when I'm nervous. Do you clap for yourself when you're nervous?
No, I'm just excited to be
You
here.
clap for yourself after sex?
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
Yeah,
Well, when it's a
I
solo
do.
mission.
Listen, no.
Hey, I do. That's only until I get a hand free.
What's on a one-hand clapping?
All right. Well, I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher, producer of
I think
media.
my wife just turned off now.
We're sorry.
Oh my God, your wife's listening.
Why would you have her do that, Skip?
We're so sorry.
We were
We
so
didn't know.
nice.
Boy,
we were so nice talking about the film festival and
Are you
everything.
guys having an argument or something?
Yeah, they are now.
You're
We're
gonna
sorry.
get home and she's gonna ask who's the one that's like a mixture of Hetty Youngman and Belial.
Eddie Youngman and Belial. Wow. Belial Youngman. Oh man,
A
that's
total
fucking-
basket case here.
Take my brother, please.
I was introducing myself.
Sorry.
And no, that's fine. It's fine. And I am the I guess the ringleader of this fucking circus.
There you go.
And also I host two other shows. The Outside Corner Fantasy Baseball podcast, where it's kind of like The Onion meets The League meets Sports Center. So give that a listen. And also with Mars, we do the Five Horsemen Wrestling podcast. And I'm sure you're going to talk more in depth about your trip to San Francisco to the Cal Palace, Mars.
Yeah, it's dope.
So speaking of that dude, he is the immortal gunslinger, the singer and lyricist for the Deadites, Donovan Mars.
One thing about my trip, other than my in hotel room cinema watching, that is important here. We, like three brave warriors, went into the Alamo Draft House and just decided to see the kind of first movie that was playing after all the movies we wanted to see weren't playing.
Mhm.
So yeah, we went and saw a cool documentary called Three Identical Strangers, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. And the Alamo's
Cool.
awesome because they have fucking giant cups of iced Dr. Pepper on tap.
Oh.
It was amazing. I didn't want to leave. I would have watched the movie again.
Jesus.
And you don't even have to ask for it. You just have to write on a piece of paper to say more and put it
Just
up.
say
And
more.
and some dude brings you a fucking flower pot full of Dr.
a
Pepper
flower pot.
with ice. It was the best
It
day
was
of my life.
magical.
Yeah. I was really happy.
You don't care what movie you're watching.
No, and Dr. Pepper apparently is on tap there, not like it is here. Wow. Like everywhere we went, I could have Dr. Pepper. It's like they wanted me to stay. Cow Palace, I could have Dr. Cow Palace. I watched fucking wrestling with a Dr. Pepper in a red vine straw.
Did you bring the straw?
No, I bought it.
One
Bought
straw?
red vine. No, I bought a whole package of red
okay.
vines. I only used one as a straw.
Just one straw, please.
You didn't have two Dr. Peppers with red straws?
No, it was really hot in the Cow Palace, actually. So at that point, I just started fucking chugging them before I got back, and everybody knew how much Dr. Pepper I drank.
Oh, man. All right. We also have the vulgar guru of horror, star of Blood Pigs, Fetus, the upcoming Morbid Tales, and Septic. One-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, Monster Zero.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yes. Hi.
That's all you're going to get out of me. Go to the next guy.
The next guy. What's his name?
I forget.
We also have the triumph riding, stage erecting, whiskey drinking, chief of security, the warrior of nor'easters, America's sweetheart, and Rick Rubin's stunt double, Ares, God of War.
Hello, all. I just want everyone to know while everyone was here fighting and enjoying themselves
Making
last
fun
week,
of every possible
yeah.
person. Possible.
like motherfuckers, you would do that on a week I wasn't here. I was sleeping on a table 100 yards away from Route 93.
Were you a Thanksgiving
Sleeping
cosplay?
Sleeping, trying to sleep on a table.
Sleeping or passed out?
You having problems at home,
Sleeping.
son? What happened? What,
I was trying to work. I was working and trying to take a little break.
okay.
And suddenly your pants fell off.
No.
No? Okay.
The only thing they had that resembled a bed was a table.
A table. All right. Was it like a folding table?
Yep.
Okay. You should have slept under it.
Why?
Get some coverage. I don't know.
Oh, no, it was under a canopy.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
No
then.
walls, just a roof. But
Fuck.
the soothing hum of 93 was
Imagine
very
people,
relaxing.
Imagine people driving by honking while he's trying to get some sleep. Sleeping on the goddamn table.
I find traffic very relaxing and soothing.
Yeah.
It's fucking worst.
You try it.
No, not well.
We also have Corey is hanging out in the chat room now from, man, I always fucking forget because I want to say From the Canopy.
He's Movie Masker podcast.
Yeah, but From the Canopy is
From
the
the
network.
Canopy is the network.
Yeah. The Movie Masker. There you go.
Which I don't understand what that means, but that's a good network.
I think they have a couple other under their umbrella, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, we're doing a really good job of of hyping it up. There you go. Sorry, Corey.
no, him and Corny when they get down in Movie Masker, like I love the format of that show.
When they get down.
Yeah, like that. They really get into like the kind of stuff about movies that a lot of podcasts that do talk about it are a little more top 40, and they kind of like, give you a more honest view of kind of what happened in cinema that week. Like they talk about trailers, they talk about new releases, they talk about stuff that they watched, and they're honest. No bullshit from those guys.
Nice.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
we know that about Corny, so that's awesome. So Corey says, From the Canopy, looking down on the world and giving you our take on it. There you go. And, well, that's it for intros.
It doesn't get funny every time you do it, Johnny.
Yeah, it does. Again.
I fucking love it. Yeah.
Listen, don't embarrass me in front of Skip.
And you know what? It's going to be even funnier when he actually follows through and doesn't intro you.
No, listen.
I try
I know
every
you
time.
didn't talk.
Wow.
There's a table outside if you want to take a nap.
I was thinking about this one right here, just pushing everything right off.
You would definitely break this. I think if anyone leaned on this a little hard, it would break. So, all right. We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, former comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for Castle Wolfenstein, the Pippa Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor of the sexy
Jesus
speakeasy,
Christ,
and,
come on.
and the Parisian brouhaha himself, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. That's
Yeah.
right.
See?
Yeah.
Clapping for yourself.
What are you clapping for?
Unbelievable.
Like, what is your
I am
accomplishment?
unbelievable. You're fucking right about that.
That you have a lot of names. So does the fucking phone book, and it's not fucking clapping.
Well, the phone book's not on the show.
It might be talk about movies. But
Yeah, it's under your seat.
I know what that was.
Did you not even realize you were clapping for yourself? Is that what the problem was?
No, I mean, I did it.
You
I can
did
see
it,
me
but-
on camera right there doing
But
it.
you were denying doing it, and then you did it.
Well, yeah. Well, I figured you guys wouldn't see.
We're all in the same room.
Well, misdirection. That's why I like to hide in plain sight.
What misdirection were you giving?
Wow.
Well, not good enough.
Apparently, because
Right.
we were all just directed at your hand clapping.
Don't embarrass me in front of Skip.
Too late. You did it yourself.
No, Skip's fine. I'm cool. I'm cool with
God
Skip.
damn it.
And you get any more names, you have to take your shoes off to keep track of them.
No,
You're
maybe-
over there with the
Maybe not my shoes.
gonna
depending
take-
what-
winging
yeah.
them out with the fingers.
He's going to have to
every
take his
time.
pants off.
Yeah, look at him at 13. Be real nice. Yeah, there you go. Wait till 13 happens.
Wait, you know how many fucking titles you have?
stop. Just
You
stop.
know? Wait, you know?
Yeah, I got 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
He does have.
Wow.
You fucking counted them.
Really?
Well, I
I counted them.
get one.
Well,
You-
who
yeah.
wrote
Well,
them? Yeah, you do count them out. So
They've-
He did.
I didn't know.
If you're gonna blame anybody, you blame him. He's the culprit.
I didn't. What? I didn't give him all those names.
No,
No,
he-
but you're the one who keeps on reading them out.
Well, sure, but
You could
that's-
always truncate it down to 2 or 3.
Should I do that,
but
Raven
you,
Shadow?
But you don't. You don't, and you just keep adding more and more and more.
I haven't added more in a while.
More.
To be fair, he also talks about the one thing that you wrote that one time. So he's
There you go,
being fair.
partner. Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
You can truncate that little article you wrote to none. How's that?
Well, me and
If he
Raven
wants
Shadow
to
have a
take that out,
special
he can.
bond because we both fired guns in a movie.
That's true. That was awesome.
You did what?
Yeah, aren't we in one of those movies? Like, shouldn't we all be in Septic too?
Yes, we all of us except for Aries.
I suspect
the
I
show.
play the star.
It was when you weren't
he was
on the.
sleeping on a table at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
Well, I fired guns in real life, so.
well, I'm not. Am I fucking?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy over here.
I didn't know I was podcasting with Frank Castle.
That's a contender for episode title, I think.
We're in a movie.
Yes, you and I
Yeah.
we're in a couple movies.
Yeah, we are.
We're in Jarrett Blinkhorn's Signal to Noise.
And me.
Well, yeah,
And me.
Yes, actually, I remember seeing you in that.
Oh,
yeah.
thank
'cause
you.
Yeah.
he went into business for himself and he bumped
Thank you.
into Diana.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
That's right.
Every fucking
I-
take
I
he
did.
did too.
Yeah.
Every,
I did.
Well, he
Thank
did it
you.
once, and then Jarrett said, "Now you have to do it every time."
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Would you like my autograph?
I'm sure.
No,
I'm all set.
he wants your autograph on a fucking check,
Yeah.
donating money to his fund. That's what he wants.
No, I had to do what I had to do, but she was directly in the way, and I couldn't.
And the star.
being,
Yeah.
And the star, yeah.
Who I was, I
Right.
couldn't
Yeah.
consciously
Being
do
who
Being
you
who
were.
you are.
Right, you were totally in character.
No.
Thank you.
He was playing a
I'm a
mindless.
method actor. yes.
Yeah,
Playing a
he
mindless.
was playing a mindless drone. It was typecasting. Can we end this show?
like for good.
Yeah, well, for right now.
So let's see. I think that's pretty much it, right? I introduced everyone. Want me to do you again, Raven Shadow?
Ooh, that's my favorite question to be asked. That.
Jesus.
It never. How many times they get asked?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a little while. I mean, it was a really good year and a half.
You need a Red Bull in 15 minutes?
That's it. Keep milking the cow. Go ahead.
Wow.
That's what I say too.
Jesus.
Call that pillow talk. I'm sorry, Mrs. Shea.
She's not. She's not.
We're
Mrs.
live,
Shea. That was my mother. As Mrs. Shea. She turned off too.
She turned out right when in the beginning when Mars was talking about Irish Americans.
Yeah. Hey,
What?
I am an Irish American myself.
Yes.
I have liberties.
You have liberties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You have death too.
it's true. We've done some good things. The
We've
West,
done some good things.
the Westies. And I mentioned Cookie Opus before.
Yep.
Warwick Davis had a whole franchise based off our mythology. Like,
Potatoes.
well, we didn't invent potatoes.
Just because you got a
Good
small
job
dick
farming
doesn't
them
mean you can
either.
call yourself Irish.
What?
Just because you have a small dick doesn't mean you can call yourself Irish.
I think you're a big dick, but thank you.
Are you a grower, not a shower?
Who? Me? I am a grower, not a shower. It's true. I learned that one from from a friend of ours.
From our boy Professor J.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll start moving on to wrapping up this long intro. And if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head on over to our Amazon store, amazon.com/shop/thedeadites. And there you're going to see all the movies that we discuss on the show, books that we talk about, books that people write forewords for, like Dynamo wrote an intro for the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So if we talk about something in depth, we put it up on there. So it's kind of like our show notes, how some people put up show notes with links to everything. We just put it all up on there. So amazon.com/shop/thedeadites. We also have our Amazon affiliate link. And if you go to trickortreatradio.com and scroll down, you can see the Amazon logo. Click on it. It brings you right to Amazon, puts in our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it helps keep the lights on.
That's right. So it'll help pay for, all the hosting fees and the rent and the internet and everything, because we do have a studio here, which,
know my special lady friend
it's
asked?
pretty crazy. But what you have?
She asked if the digital copy of the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight is available on the...
It is not. It's available on Bandcamp. We could maybe put it up on
I
there.
think it's on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon.
Yeah. No, it's available everywhere. But if
Yeah.
people like Bandcamp is the one that we get the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Big Scary Monster, which we play the promo pretty much every week.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really talk about that, because we have the promo.
Well, I was wondering we should just put it up on the Amazon store. WTF.
Oh yeah. Wait, did I? I'll double check. If I didn't, I'll definitely do that. That's a definitely good idea. So we'll put that up on there as well. So for anyone not in the know, that is our EP. Mars, Tiny, myself, and a few others. We have a band called the Deadites. If we don't know, I guess we don't always make that obvious, but
No.
all the music that you hear in the show is performed by the Deadites. So if you dig what you hear, give us a look. We have an EP, The Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, available pretty much everywhere. If you just want to stream it and give us 0.000000001 cent per play, head on over to Spotify or Apple Music. So at this point, who the fuck cares? Just listen to the music, I guess, right?
I sent it to maybe I sent every bit of music on a whim because I was feeling sad. I sent every bit of music we had, except for the 2 songs on the compilations, to like 45 people today.
Yeah.
And I think I started by... Did I send it to you, Skip?
No.
All right. That's what's funny about that is that's why I got the idea. It's like I should send the music to Skip. Then I sent it to a whole bunch of other people that I don't like as much as Skip. Sorry, people.
Actually, I already have it.
All right, and if you guys want to head to our store, head over to trickortreatradio.com, click on the store link. It's going to bring you right to the store, and then we have some digital content. There's a Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits volumes 1 through 3. We have some other premium content up on there. You can actually buy, there's a digital download card of the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, so you can get a sticker and a code for the actual album. If you're into that, you can buy that. We got some buttons. Speaking of which, I don't know if any of you guys talked to Kex. Anyone talked to Kex lately? He ordered some buttons. I sent them to him, and I got them back as undeliverable. So I don't know if he skipped town or something. But and I looked for him on social media and I couldn't find him. So if Kexi's listening, get in touch with us because I want to get you the stuff that you bought, man. So I think that's about it. Oh, and we also have the donate. If you guys want to donate via PayPal, there is a link to do so on the front page of trickortreatradio.com. And then we're on a bunch of different podcatchers or apps, whatever you want to call them. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Satchel Podcast Player and Google Play. So if you guys have yet to subscribe, please do so. And if you haven't, give us a 5-star review. I'm going to check to see if we got any new ones. Probably not, but if you haven't done so, just leave us a 5-star review, and it helps get us in front of other people, and we'd appreciate that because with so many podcasts out there, it can be hard to penetrate through all the static, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, very loud.
So if you guys want to, it would be a huge help if you haven't already left us a review. You can give us the 5 stars, but also if you leave a few words, that also is very helpful. And let people know what you dig about the show and why they should listen.
Yes.
And even if it's one sentence, that would be super, super helpful. It's like if you have a buddy who has a restaurant, you want to go leave him a review on Yelp or something like that. 5 out of 5 would pee in their urinal again.
Yes.
Is that what you say, Raven Shadow?
That's a great review of us.
Yeah, if you want to, you can say that about us.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
You don't even like us. You can just lie about it too. That's okay. No one knows. Just change different names.
Exactly.
They won't find you.
No, they won't.
Right?
So, well, I think that's going to wrap things up here for the introduction. Mars, yeah, you raised
I
your
have one
hand.
thing that I forgot to. It was going to be my intro before I decided to be a dick.
Before you decided, you mean
Yeah.
you don't wake up and just automatically feel that way?
No, thanks for ruining my image.
I don't think I
thought
don't. I think you do.
I thought it improved it.
I think you do a good enough
I thought
job.
everybody thought I was a nice guy. I'm very sad to report
sad?
that the singer guitar player for one of my favorite Boston bands ever, Ian Kennedy from Reverse, passed away. I guess I haven't seen anything like official news-wise about it, but from people I know in the in and about the scene hit me. So
Oh, it sucks.
it's real sad. Reverse is they're one of those things that when I heard them, I thought they were going to be like really, really big stars, but I think they became a victim of just the ever shrinking Boston limelight. So, but they're fucking great. Look up their music.
Yeah, I'm not familiar, but I will.
I think you dig them. I'm surprised that you don't like them. It's their
Well, I just haven't. I'm
yeah,
not
I'm
familiar
surprised that
with
you
it.
don't know them. I mean,
Yeah.
I meant to say, yeah, they're really, really, really terrific. I can't really compare them to anyone. They have a lot going on. They have some cool they have riffs and big rollicking stuff that's reminiscent of Clutch that'll go smoothly into a song that sounds like in the same song sound a little bit like Curtain Society and Swirly, and they're just a great band and great lyrics, and it's really, really, really heartbreaking. So
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
All right. Well, Slegoth told me that Kex is on Twitter, so I will look from there. All right. So we're gonna head to a break in just a moment. But Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch The Devil's Doorway. What do you do to prepare for this movie?
Oh, I start packing, Johnny.
Start packing?
I start packing.
What, like a bowl?
No, all right, later. But no, I had to bust out the old Boba Fett suitcase because I'm going on a trip
You are?
tomorrow. I am.
Holy shit! Where are you going?
I'm going to the Cape. I'm going down the Cape.
Yep.
With my dad. We're doing our annual fishing trip. My dad and the vets, Vietnam vets, doing a deep sea trip out of the Cape.
Don't tell me that, man. You're gonna kill all these fish?
It's for the vets, Johnny.
Let's be honest. He's just going for a boat ride. He's not fishing.
I'm really good at it. You know what I mean? I just put it down, light my cigarette, and just I'm good. A couple of beers, a couple of Budweisers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get the fish like they get secondhand smoke?
Yeah, that's how I blow.
Yeah,
That's how you catch them.
smoked salmon.
And I hate boats, and I hate the ocean, and I hate fishing.
But you don't hate Boba Fett suitcases.
No, I bought that. Yeah, it's nice.
Are you bringing that on the boat?
No, the vets can't have that.
Because they will make fun of you.
Yeah, it's bad enough. The vets don't like the cut of my jib. But yeah, so I'm actually for the first time since I was 23 years old, I am staying over my parents' house tonight. After we leave here, I'm going back to my parents' house, where Ollie is.
He's
Knock it
there?
off.
That was a
So
long time
Ollie's
ago.
at your parents'?
Yep.
He's gonna be staying there.
He's staying there tonight, and I'm picking him up Friday.
Nice.
And it's great because first time he was there, I got reports that he peed on the couch twice. And
So
I'm
it's like a little vacation for him too.
yeah, he never does that at home.
Well,
But-
strange place,
That's what I said. They have a cat. They got a cat. They got a Siamese cat.
He's Markin's territory.
Cat's bullying him.
It probably is.
Probably,
yeah. It's a tough cat.
That's
named-
usually the way it goes.
My mom's cat's name is Spider, and it has like that extra It's true.
Like, did you name the cat? Because there's 2 spiders I could think of that you're a big fan of.
That's true. That's true. That was one of the names. I suggested like either Peter or Parker, but she likes Spider because he has like those extra paws, like his paws are kind of like a catcher's mitt. You know.
Oh, he's got like the extra
thumb.
Yeah,
extra thumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spider doesn't like to cut of Ollie's jib. So as I'm getting ready to go back to be in my room, my childhood bedroom, well, teenage bedroom for the first time in a long time.
Is it still a waterbed?
No, it's not a waterbed. I used to waterbed, Skip. It was dope.
I believe that.
Yeah, I was 17. It was pretty cool.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Raven
Shit,
Shadow,
you
but
will.
Evil Corny has a question. It's very important.
Yes.
Is Raven Shadow going to pee out of a window since he'll be back in his parents' house?
It wasn't my parents' house that happened. That was a lady friend's.
You going to pee out of a screen window? It's the worst idea I've ever
Listen,
heard.
don't embarrass me in front of fucking Skip. Skip.
You were the one that brought it up.
yourself.
No, listen, it wasn't my idea. If you
just go on.
All right,
Don't
so
even
go-
address
I'm
it.
just gonna
Don't
fucking-
address it.
I'm
Don't.
just-
His hand was forced to do it.
strap on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites. Now available on iTunes, Google Music, Amazon, CD Baby, and all other digital distribution sites.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast. And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
I'm Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at The Deadites, TheDeadites.com, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I tell you there's an underground sky. I told you that.
All right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. Mars, do you feel Underground Sky might be appropriate for this film?
Pardon?
I said, do you think Underground Sky might be appropriate for this film?
No.
I guess it's just the underground part.
Okay, so yeah, now I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to be discussing The Devil's Doorway. This film just actually it's not out yet at the time that we're streaming this live. It will be hitting VOD on the 13th of July.
Couple days.
Yep. So 2 days from right now at the time of streaming this live. So it will be available in select theaters and VOD if you guys want to check it out. So we were able to peep this a little bit early from our friends over at IFC Midnight. And The Devil's Doorway is an hour and 16 minutes. It is a horror film. And it is directed by Ashleen Clark. And it is written by Ashleen Clark and Martin Brennan. And it stars Lawler Roddy, Kieran Flynn, Helena Breen, and Lauren Coe. And Raven Shadow, the actor who played Father Thomas, Lawler Roddy, was in Grabbers. Do you remember him?
Oh, I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, he was in Grabbers. He was like one
he
of the
was the caretaker, right?
I don't remember if he was the caretaker. He was one of the drunks in the bar,
Okay,
I think.
Yeah.
But I thought you'd be a big fan of that.
I am.
And so this film, as I mentioned earlier, is the featured debut of Ashleen Clark. And I'm just looking at her filmography now. She's done 3 shorts, and so this is her featured debut. And one of her other shorts, called Childer, looks really interesting. I just saw the trailer. I didn't get a chance to. I don't know if it's available online. I looked a little bit and wasn't able to find it, so I don't know if it is available. I'm going to actually play the trailer here. You could see the creepy animal heads.
It looks like the terrible trio from Batman.
Yeah. So I'll play this over here on this screen while we continue to go through everything here. But this is just the trailer for the short. So I have not seen the short, but the trailer looks really cool. And I did just see, I wonder if I can find it. Let me look here. But I saw that there was some sort of press release where Ashleen Clark was going to be doing a couple other films coming up. Let me see if I can find that. While I look, we'll run down the rest of the film here. And the synopsis from IMDb: in the fall of 1960, Father Thomas Riley and Father John Thornton were sent by the Vatican to investigate a miraculous event in an Irish home for fallen women, only to uncover something much more horrific. So one thing I will start off and say about this film is that one thing I loved about it immediately was the attention to detail. To me, obviously, I don't have too much experience with making films in the 60s, but, in seeing a lot of stuff, this seems like it would be fairly accurate to that time period. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was an 8mm film, and the aspect ratio was there, the look of it, everything, it looked genuine to me, and I really appreciated that, because we've seen a lot of, and just for, just to make sure that it's, completely transparent, that this is a found footage film as well. So I thought that was a really interesting way of doing it. A lot of the found footage films we've seen take place in sort of the current age of digital technology, and utilize that. And I thought it was really interesting to see one that used sort of, the from the 60s, the technology there with 8mm and stuff. So
same here. I mean, I didn't know it was a period piece. I didn't know anything about it till we started watching it. And I saw the intro, and I'm like, okay, the time period. And then when I realized, it is a found footage flick, which I think is the oldest set found footage movie
so far that we've come
so
across.
far, right?
I mean, that we've covered. I don't know. I mean, we obviously haven't seen them all. I don't know if there's any that have covered, an earlier time. But yeah, it's an interesting, topic anyways to think about.
Because I was thinking too, they actually need to use film. You know, there's only
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
finite amount of it.
Can you guys think of any other found footage that may have been set in an earlier time period?
There was one from the Revolutionary War.
Yes.
What did they do? Were they
I'm
like
sorry, somebody
drawings?
called-
Yeah. Artist renderings of what happened?
It was a found camera movie.
No, I'm trying to think of some, and this could be the earliest one, as far as as far as a set time goes.
What? Come here, Missy. What?
Is it a bug?
Yeah.
That's a beetle.
You had it in your hand. I thought you were like cuddling
What happened?
it.
Yeah. It's my pet beetle, Ted.
Pet beetle Ted.
As far as time periods go, I think this is the earliest, as far as found footage
You know why though,
genre
right?
goes. Why what?
No, why,
Because
why?
it shouldn't fucking happen.
What?
There shouldn't be found footage movies from then.
What are you
Why
talking
not?
about?
Because
Come on, Dynamo.
no, I'm not playing.
Use
No,
your
you,
words.
no, you play. You're
No.
mad. They're
They-
set in Ireland.
They
Yeah.
could make. They did have film.
They
they've
did
had,
have film.
They've had film since the turn of the century.
It's
you know.
true.
So why not?
And the Vatican had a lot of money, so obviously they could send people there with
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, great. The beyond the having to edit the film together, what other problem do you have with it?
I guess it depends on like where they found it. This was some pretty fucking pristine footage to have been unearthed.
There was a lot of problems.
There was a lot of problems.
In the world.
But I think timing-wise, it works.
Yeah.
Because literally within the last 2 years was when at one of the Magdalene laundries they found those 800 bodies buried.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that this, this stuff would have been buried with it.
Right.
So as they're unearthing things, this would have come up. But they didn't have to say that. But
No.
I think the timing actually worked for this right now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I believe that film like this could be preserved in the condition that we got to see it in. That's presented in this movie. To have survived the way it did.
And-
Under certain conditions, you know.
And I don't know if this is even like a you know like this topic even really matters, but I mean, it's never stated when it was found, right? Like we don't,
No.
Right.
You know, it could have been found 20 years ago, right?
It could have been found last
conceivably.
year.
Yeah, or even 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
that's
I
true. They
mean,
just never filed. They never filed their report, so it could have been found right then,
Yeah.
and it could have been kept somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
I
they
mean,
actually could have filed it. The Vatican could have got this
yeah.
together.
I
Yeah.
mean,
They
Yeah.
just keep all this shit anyway.
right.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
So there's nothing that says that it just
No, I'm just
was
incredulous of the quality of something that's from that far away. When my Slumber Party
I
Massacre
don't know, man.
VHS turns green halfway through.
We
for no
well,
good
didn't we
reason.
see a 35 millimeter print of a Buster Keaton movie a couple years ago?
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that's
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. Well, and let's say
guess.
where the film was sitting was
could be
ideal
good.
conditions.
Yeah. I just feel like it was really fucking good.
Well, I
It
mean,
was
there
better
there
than that
some-
Buster Keaton thing we saw. It was better than any of the Wizard of Oz.
I mean,
Yeah,
there
but the
was,
Buster
there was,
Keaton
Sounds
film
I've seen.
would have been shown in other, through projectors.
Yeah.
This
I mean-
had probably never been shown.
they showed like burns through
Yeah,
a couple
this
scenes.
was totally
there was some
believable for me,
flickering,
man.
so it's completely believable.
All right.
I had
guess-
no problem with the presentation, and I actually thought it really
I
worked.
loved the presentation.
Yeah, and even beyond that, like the costumes, the sets, everything about this screamed that time period.
The
for me.
location for this movie was absolutely astonishing
Yeah.
to me.
I-
I loved the way this movie looked, and the I guess you want to say sets. I don't know if they're real locations or not.
Oh yeah. I mean,
because if those are real locations, man,
setting is what I should have said.
yeah,
Yeah.
this world is a whole lot scarier because of it.
But I guess it always brings, this is sort of a contentious point when we talk about found footage, because there's the whole conceit, where in found footage, a lot of times you're believing that this was actually filmed by these people that are involved in this story, and then later it was unearthed or found or filed away or something like that. And all the time there's always these inconsistencies where it's filming from a camera that like couldn't conceivably have been there, or there's always seems to be these little issues. But with this one, I thought they nailed it with the found footage.
They did. I think so too. I mean,
They didn't have any focus issues, that's for sure. Like they were fucking running down halls with whatever.
I mean, there's always problems with the found footage, but I did find that the audio was inconsistent for
That's
the
true.
period for you had people leaving rooms and the audio didn't change.
And it was really, and it was also like very, I don't know, digital, for lack of a better way to put it. It didn't seem, for all the, I guess, work that you guys saw that they put in to try to make the print be from that time. Like, I feel like there's only so much you can restore sound.
Well, sure, and I think that this did. I mean, I think this did benefit from current technology of sound of audio design, and I think the audio was really good to the point where like there was stuff that was like further away that sounded further away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they did a good job of just having that perspective of where things were in the world as you're watching it.
Well, to a certain degree, but they also didn't. People's movements, people turning away from the camera, their audio didn't change. No, you're dealing with a mic that's fixed on the camera.
Right.
They had the distance appropriate, but someone turned away from the camera still talking, the audio didn't change at all for them. Whereas it should have. It should have got a lot fainter because they weren't speaking
And
towards
I
the mic
think it
anymore.
was like when they weren't trying to do something scary, I think its one consistency was that it was really good no matter what room they were in, no matter where the guy with the camera was versus what was going on. Like, no matter, there's obviously, I guess you could put it in post when they fixed it somehow like a million years, but there's no compression, right? So that guy busts in the room and starts slamming around files and stuff like that and starts yelling. Like, the audio should distort and sound different and not sound like it's like the guy's wearing a lapel mic or there's a boom mic above him.
And I guess for me, like there's always got to be some sort of concession. And I guess the thing for me was when I was watching it, the look of it was always there. And maybe you guys may have a point where at points maybe the audio wasn't authentic. But for me, that's something that would enhance the experience for me to have good audio. Otherwise, if this is sort of if this is the original audio from then, I could see having some issues about hearing what's going on or things like that. Right. So for me, I think there were some concessions to say, okay, we're going to actually bring the audio quality of this up a bit just so, because it helped, because I think that it's a very creepy movie.
Yeah.
See, me.
The audio was a big proponent.
Because in making the audio be that, this was just another fucking haunted house, spooky ghost clap movie. Like it like totally drenched a little bit of like where it looked really good, and it looked good enough a lot of the time that I sort of, could look past some of the improbabilities of it even existing. Like this is stock and trade for every fucking movie that comes out in the theaters now. Like really good banging around, like audio, where I think if they had like made it so you couldn't always hear, so you didn't know what you were hearing sometime, like it ended up not being like, I don't know, because I felt like there was parts of this where I just felt like I was watching a Blumhouse movie.
I feel you could have had a lot better effect by having people talk but not being able to hear exactly what they're saying, and you get a lot more creepy of an effect.
I agree.
By that, they're realizing things and talking about them, but you don't quite hear what they're saying. You only get half of what they're saying. You could use a lot of misdirection that way by distorting what they're talking about. I think there was missed opportunities there to make this movie even more creepy than it was.
Right. But then you take it. Yeah, but then you're taking out that kind of creep factor as far as the characters go, because if the characters inside the film can hear what each other is saying, and we don't, it kind of loses the whole point of.
I don't think
the
so. You can still get that creep factor with the the whole, handheld interview one-on-one, when they're talking to the Mother Superior, stuff like that. The audio is going to be, pristine for that period. But, when they're running around and they're talking, that's when you're going to run into these little gaps and the problems of hearing.
Because then
and
you're having
everything
two
else.
things, and then you're fucking with my suspension of disbelief. Because not only are you not having any focus problems as you're fucking whipping down the hall, you also have audio that sounds like somebody's talking down the hall next to you. Like, not even like a ghost thing. Like, the guy's like, come on, let's go. And his audio is, like, not...
But would it like work against the film if you couldn't hear what was going on?
I think part of it is if they made the sound authentic, everyone would be saying,
Right.
"Well, the sound was god awful."
And that's what
that won't work.
That's why I'm saying that that's a concession I'm willing to make for this, because
you got to have some give and take.
Yeah, I want to be able to,
Gotta
like,
have
I
some give and
understand that
take.
I'm talking about having it look authentic, and it's that trade-off, because if the audio was authentic, you would be like, what did they say? What's going on? And you just wouldn't get, like, audio is so important, sometimes just as, if not more important, to what's going on the screen. And for me, that was something that one of the, like I said, the concession I was willing to make for it, for a better experience.
Yeah, the audio really proved itself to be a real big proponent in that opening scene, where we get to flash forward into what's happening later on into the film. And I was listening it on my computer. I had my headphones on, and the audio,
I did
the
headphones
sound
as well, yeah.
made an enormous difference. I had chills.
Well, I have a fucking...
That opening
Me too,
30-second
yeah.
sequence,
That was great,
I was terrified.
I have a back catalog of Conjuring movies that are going to make you jack off. That,
This
'cause those things
this
sound
was
terrific.
I don't need
way-
Conjuring movies for me
This
to
film
jack
was
off.
this film was way better than that standard Blumhouse ghost.
Exactly. Yes.
I
agree.
guess.
No, for me,
I do agree with Aries though that I think just a little bit of better sound mix
Yep.
would have gone a long way.
Mhm.
But for the most part, I agree. It's the sound didn't take me out of it.
Yeah, and that's the strongest point for me, is that, like I said, I accept that they had to make some some concessions with the sound, and that's something. It didn't take me out of it. If they did fuck too much with what was going on the screen, that would have taken me out of it. So I think it was a happy medium, and I think they did a great job of it. And this film looked to the point where it looked unique. Like, a lot of times they will take that and they'll actually use, they won't use the original aspect ratio, but in this they did. They used the I don't know,
Was it
the square
16 by 9? I think it's called.
No, well, that wasn't that's widescreen. 16 by 9 is
Oh,
widescreen.
what am I thinking of? Not
This-
4 by 3.
I think this was even smaller than flat. Flat is 1:3:3, but I don't know the exact ratio of it, so I'm not going to guess. But it
4 by
was
3
kind of
is
more
TV.
of like it was more of a square image,
It was kind of like 4 by 3.
Yeah,
standard TV size.
You might be
really.
right. Yeah, you might be right on that one. So I thought that really added a lot to it. Added a lot to the look of the film, the feel of the film, the overall ambience of it, and I think that was a really really good move to do that. Now, obviously, it kind of, when you're setting a film in the 60s on 8mm, that kind of makes the decision for you, I believe. But I commend the director for kind of sticking with it and going the full route, because
Oh yeah.
it's kind of a bold choice in this day and age to do something like that, and I think it worked out well. But yeah, I don't want to talk a ton about the actual plot of this one, because I think this might be better if you go in a little cold. Now, what we will say, I mean, it pretty much says it in the synopsis, is that the Vatican sends this father, the two fathers, Father Riley and Father Thornton, to investigate a miracle that happened in an Irish home. And Skip, you had mentioned the name of it was a Magdalene Laundry, is that? Yeah. And so I don't know a ton about them. I did a little bit of research. Do you know more about them, Skip, where you might be able to kind of rattle off the top of your head?
Well, it's basically where, and I think it says it at the beginning of the movie, where young women were put who were in trouble, were pregnant without fathers, and it was this order run by nuns, although it was definitely overseen by men.
Yeah.
And they pretty much abused and tortured these women the whole time they were there.
Yeah.
To the point where, I mean, a couple of years ago, the Pope had to do an official apology to Ireland. I mean, the crimes were so horrific there that the reason that Ireland just voted to allow women the right to abortion in the Constitution was simply to say fuck you to the Catholic Church. That's how horrific these crimes were.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything to do with the church anymore.
Yeah, it is interesting, and you know, Skip did a probably much better job of relaying it than I found a something on Wikipedia, but this was alluded to earlier. But in 1993, apparently there's a mass grave containing 155 corpses.
Jesus.
That was uncovered in the convent grounds in one of these laundries. Skip says that's small.
That's
Jesus
small.
Christ.
A couple of years ago, they found 800.
800.
800 bodies in one convent.
You know, we were talking last week about like generalizing like institutions and stuff like that, and like saying that, like everything is bad, but it's really always very hard to make a case for the Catholic Church, right? Like,
Remember that one time? No. Yeah.
You know, like, sure, there's been some, like, probably individual, like, you know, humanitarian stuff in their name and stuff like that. But, I mean, I think that this is one of those cases where, like, not to use, you know, religious terminology, I guess, on purpose, but the sin sort of, you know, like, I don't know, like, I feel like anybody with any fucking common sense at all would have checked out at the rat lines. Like, like at what point do you... Like, at what point, like, are people just, like, really not paying attention? Like, you know, like, a lot of, like, I feel like if you look at the thing that's infuriating about the Catholic Church is that something comes out at some point in a modern time, you know, 1960 per se, right? And then it's still just fucking going. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so Teflon, and it's the way its institution is set up that it's, like, infuriating that it just keeps getting, like, I don't know, like, it could stop tomorrow, and I think you could probably go another 100 years with unearthing shit that if you want to believe, you don't want to know about it, you know?
That's a big part of it. People don't want to know. I went to the protest in Boston last weekend to, you know, don't separate families.
Yeah.
And this woman was holding this sign, you know, keep families together. I vote, and I'm Catholic. And I was like, why the hell did she say she's Catholic? And I said to her, I said, you know, it's not just going on now that people are separating families and selling children for adoption. I said, the Catholic Church has been doing this for hundreds of years. I don't know what you're protesting here.
To pay the bills.
You know,
right.
I mean,
you got
made a big profit off.
Yeah, because you got
children.
one half of the people who are offended by how dare you question the Catholic Church, and they get scared off easily. Or if you got the people who are really determined to drive home and try to out these people for the crimes that they've committed, they just get bought off because the Catholic Church has billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Yes.
And another thing that's really frustrating about it is
it's like you're right. You know, the Teflon.
And there's also like a used car, like a fucking sleazy, cliche used car salesman element about it, because there are elements that you can go back and forget about them buying, you know, the press or suppressing things or doing things. Like, there are like reports that like they'll do things that are wrong, but then they'll almost become policy. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we will hide you for your crimes against a whole fucking continent because you're going to give us a bunch of fucking art that you fucking got from a different...
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like at one point it was like, oh, well, we're going to fucking help these guys because we've been in cahoots with them forever. But then at some point it's like, oh, well, you know, we sold kids one time. Like, let's fucking make it an institution. Let's make it a fucking business. How we keep the lights on. No Amazon link. It's just fucking...
I think there are beacons of light here, though. Like I said Ireland. the same thing. They were the first country in a referendum to allow gay marriage, and part of that was just to say fuck you to the Catholic Church.
Yep.
Australia pretty much threw the Catholic Church out, and
Good.
they're prosecuting bishops now, which doesn't happen
Really?
anywhere.
Nice.
The Pope went to Chile and was met with people protesting in the streets because of the cover-up of sexual abuse of children there, to the point where he pissed everybody off because he didn't take that well, and then he had to then issue this big apology to Chile. So people around the world are standing up, just people not people here.
Right.
Yeah.
It only took how long?
Yeah. Well,
2,000 years.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's the thing. Like, as much as I love this country, and I am proud to be an American citizen, it's fucking tough sometimes when, like, people forget that America is a big fucking place. And it's easier to recognize that when you're talking about, South Africa and, Uganda. The difference between
The
that.
Ugandan giant?
But, like, I'm not gonna say a certain place, but I mean, there's a fucking marketable difference in beliefs, and I hate to say education, but to a degree, misdirection of education between Manhattan and somewhere else.
Somewhere else. That's a great comparison.
Yeah, somewhere else where
Somewhere.
Watts may or may not have run Mid-South Wrestling, and they got flooded out a few
In the
years ago.
Bonaventure Hotel. You got that, MZ?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
But I mean, it is very frustrating.
Very
and
good.
it's like, it's amazing.
I wasn't expecting a Midnight Madness reference tonight, but
I love that
God damn
movie.
it, we got one.
Yeah. Fergus
Now,
Beefy.
I've been pointing out the bad parts about this movie. There is a logistic of this movie that really impressed me, and it's that somebody wrote it, people were in it, somebody filmed it.
Yes.
And well, no, but I mean, that's every movie, but like, not every movie is like, this is kind of in like, not a subversive way, but in like a very, I mean, ghost movies and found footage movies are like the fucking rice and beans of the horror industry right now. They're kind of like what
Absolutely.
is, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was done in a way, in a safe way, even though it was, a bit of original trapping. But like, there aren't a lot of movies like, if you look at that Devil Inside movie, it definitely has like Catholic Church elements, but they treat it like it's fucking Oz. Like it's like a James Bond villain maybe, or it's like something like off in the distance.
Yeah.
It's not like, so like this is tackling.
They tackle this head on.
Yeah, this is tackling it head on, and that's fucking brave and cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. This movie sounded pretty cool, like right off the bat. Like I thought there was some interesting stuff, and we kind of like missed the part where we're going to talk about a little bit about the plot. So I'll just go down that direction a little bit here. But so we have the fathers who go investigate a miracle of a statue of the Virgin Mary with blood, tears of blood coming down, out of its eyes. Now that's obviously something that has happened and is based in real life, and they talk about that a little bit, how it was tricksters and all these other people who were always responsible.
Why is that always blood?
Why not?
It's not always blood.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
Sometimes it's tears, and they, water will drip from their.
Like how would they
call it
what if like
tears.
how they have it like lactating? That'd be outrageous.
What?
A lactating Virgin
You just
Mary.
say
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my!
that's a fucking miracle, right? No.
You know what would be a miracle if you just shut up?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Are you just talking to hear yourself talk right now?
That's what I was thinking about when I was watching the movie.
Lactating. Are you fucking serious?
How about one taking a shit? How about that?
Yeah. How about a
gross. That'd
Virgin
be
Mary
gross.
taking a shit?
Sounded like me nervous in the hotel room because I'm not
Talk
used
to
to
the mic.
I'm not used to. I didn't turn it off by accident. Sorry. I'm not used to being around fucking real people, so I don't know how to act.
You were talking about lactating in the hotel room?
I might have been.
They fucking
I was
definitely
saying
were.
all sorts of fucking crazy shit.
They were having human centipede competitions. Of course, they were fucking talking about.
Whoa,
lactating.
what? No.
There's no
Yeah,
competition.
Moving on.
No, fine. No, well, that's a miracle to me.
You think you're gonna tell El Goro where to go in a human centipede?
I'm not telling. I'm just.
Yeah, no.
To be nice to him.
Have anything else to add, Raymond Chatham?
Well, I guess fucking no. So I guess
Do you have
no.
anything fucking reasonable to add?
I enjoyed the runtime.
Of course you did.
Jeez,
I kept looking at it. I was like, an hour and 16 minutes? Ooh. It was nice.
I actually didn't even know the runtime until it ended.
I actually enjoyed the runtime for another reason that I feel like is like a kind of subversion of this like subgenre, is that when someone's filming and shit happens and fucking a Bigfoot comes and chases you down the path when you have your GoPro on, that doesn't always happen in 90-minute increments. Like like I really enjoyed the like,
sure
even though
about that?
even though it like had to be at least a certain length to be feature length, like I feel like it definitely made it a little more like it added something to the overall experience that they usually don't think about with that sort of conceit,
So they go investigate the bleeding tear Virgin Mary
Lactating
statue, and while they're there, it sort of unravels and they learn more about this, this Magdalene laundry and find out more about what's going on. I don't want to say too much because I think that's part of the good thing about this movie is that you don't quite know what's happening until you get there. And but there obviously it's a horror movie. There's lots of creepy stuff that happens, and I'm not one. You guys have heard me, if you've listened to the show before, you've heard me talk about. I'm not one to to get scared easily, and I'm looking for a film that is going to scare me. And this one came closer than a lot of other ones we watched. I thought there's some really genuinely creepy stuff in this.
Yeah, I agree. That especially that opening 30-minute scene, 30-second scene. That just blew me away. I had goosebumps and everything, man. The scares in this movie are pretty evened out throughout the film. I think there's maybe one or two I think they use maybe a little bit too often, but other than that, the atmosphere for this film is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you really feel like you're transported there, and that's mostly because of just the way the film looks and how it looks like it's done in 8mm and everything. And so
yeah,
and also the seclusion, the claustrophobic feeling of being. I mean, you're in this gigantic building with a whole lot of rooms, a whole lot of hallways, and it looks very spacious. But there's a certain claustrophobic feeling about that, about it that says you're not going to get out of here alive. And even with the help of some outside help, where cops and doctors start getting into the situation, the claustrophobic feeling is still there, and it's just an absolutely terrifying movie. I was riveted.
There wasn't a point in this movie when I didn't feel dread.
Yeah,
the entire time I've had this sense of dread.
I think the only thing, and actually it's not really a complaint, but I think the only thing that kind of bugged me a little bit was I think they used the when they basically would show the camera on a tape recorder, and I thought that they utilized that just a couple too many times.
I would
but
like.
They did it twice.
But I appreciated that they did it, but I just felt it was used maybe a little too much.
I like it because it made it feel like someone was actually trying to turn this into a narrative, so they were using they were using like other. Like I don't think that they filmed the reel-to-reel player.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get that impression. My impression was that
someone else.
Yeah, to try to fill in that hole in the narrative.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody put this together, right? Like so that's one of the things that like works again. That works in this instance. That doesn't always work. Like when you find a fucking pile of tapes and a bunch of Bigfoot shit out in the woods, like who's like, I'm gonna go edit this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but this, like, somebody, either the, like whether it was the church for their own keeping track of Nigel, or their or whoever was telling this story, who got a hold of this footage and was telling this story, did that. And I feel like that all fit together. That was something that, found footage films are a type of film that it's tough to say, like, you got to just let your suspension of disbelief go, because you're kind of you're looking at it in two ways. You're looking at it kind of keeping inventory on how it got made. You're not from like a behind the scenes thing, but like the whole thing is a behind the scenes thing. So you're kind of like paying attention to it and paying attention to the narrative. So when they fuck that up, whether it be who fucking edited this together, or why does this exist, or you know what I mean? Like the Romero one is one of the worst ones, unfortunately, where it's like, you know, it's one kid with a fucking camera, but then you have 3 fucking angles on the same thing. Like, and then you end up like out of the moment, like a found footage film. And I will get to you know, put my praise and my complaints evenly. I felt like that era of this was that element of this rather was one of the better found footage films that I've seen maybe ever, because other than my complaints about the overall technology and that just most, you know, visual audio things, like there were a lot of elements of this that you could explain away a lot of the fucking typical found footage foibles.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, and I liked how, you know, Skip had mentioned it had just a great sense of dread. There was a couple scenes that were especially creepy. There was the one where, let's see, what is his name? Thornton? Was it Father Thornton? Yeah, and where he's the one that held the camera for better part of the movie, and I think he was in his bedroom one late night, and there was like all these child voices. Mm-hmm. And then he went to look under the bed, and there was that toy under the bed. Like, that whole scene was fucking creepy.
Because there are no kids there.
Right. And
you know,
that
like,
kind of speaks to what one of your fears is, Mars, right?
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I will say this, and I'm going to be the outlier here, except for Mr. Runtime over there.
Mr. Runtime. That might go in your
number 13. There you go. There you go, Mr. Runtime himself.
No.
Thank you, Dynamo.
The scares in this I found to be inconsistent. And I've talked the last couple weeks, or maybe the couple weeks before last week, I don't even know what we fucking review anymore most of the time, where talent elevates like kind of mundane material sometime.
Yeah.
And I think the overall atmosphere and visuals in this, and I know I'm being contradictory, but this movie I think looked awesome in my opinion, despite itself, for lack of a better way to put it. Because while every time somebody ran down the fucking hall and it had perfect fucking digital fucking focus, it's undeniable how fucking cool this was. How they used the they never gave you it's like it all happened in Escher painting, in the sense where they never gave you a good layout of what this place was. Like, you were just fucking going from rooms and upstairs and downstairs
and
into
that
rooms.
Whole kind of spatial awareness.
Right, yeah.
I love that aspect of it where, you know, MZ, you made reference to this massive building. You never know it was a massive building.
Yeah.
This could have been, you know, your house.
And they got around fast, too,
they
sometimes.
They just moved around. You just saw little snippets of what this building was.
But now, where I'm talking about good things elevating some pedestrian material, I am so fucking sick. Like, I don't care if there's a fucking giant ape with a fucking chainsaw and you can see him hanging out of the bed. I'm so fucking sick of dummies looking under the bed. I'm so sick of things being just ahead of you, going and whipping around corners. I'm so fucking sick of fucking shit banging in found footage films to, like, be scary. Like, I was engaged this entire time, and I had said online that I thought I had the cut of this film's jib, and I'm not positive I am, and that may be either I think it was intentional, but like that may be I could be right. Like, my interpretation of what was going on could be one thing, but like I think that you know, there was more cool here, I guess is what I'm trying to say, than there's bad, for sure. and it's all like kind of, it's definitely, again, despite the conceit not exactly working in my opinion, it's a visual, to use a real fucking monocly cliche term, but it's a visual tour de force. Like,
Yeah.
And it's funny because it is in a very subtle way, because it's very muted and it's very dark and it's very kind of creeping along in its own like pacing, and it's very real in that sense. And one thing that I don't think you picked up on that I thought was great is both those camera things where they would go into the reel were also after revelations and scares. So I feel like it kind of reset the tone again to get to a different time and be able to show that time kind of elapsed in a way other than just saying, like day 2 or day 3 or whatever. But like, man, if I see one fucking kid running just ahead of somebody, fucking darting around a corner again, like, I'm gonna fucking jump up a movie screen
Well, you
with
know
a
what? I mean,
fucking
they
cutlass and slide down it like a fucking pirate.
Like a pirate.
They
yeah.
did a decent job of it because they did use stairs, which that's very easy to just be ahead of someone.
They all kind of use stairs, though. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying because they did dip into that well quite often.
Yeah.
But the stairs aspect of it was good. I will disagree with the whole showing the reel to reel. I did not like that because that took you out of the picture. If they were gonna try to say that no video was available for this portion of it, it should have just been a still image of a reel to reel rather than showing it actually moving. Because
Yeah.
it did give you the impression that is someone just sitting there filming a reel to reel with this footage.
well, somebody was, but you.
Well,
think
no,
like
but
that,
I mean, it was someone filming it, or was it this edited in after because they didn't have the something happened to the video aspect of it, but the audio was okay.
Yeah,
and there was also a couple of times where there was voiceover.
Yeah, that's when I found it most interesting when there'd be a conversation or a monologue, and then he'd be trying to focus in on a crucifix and pulling out. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm watching a French New Wave movie,
Right.
Because the way it was cut, but I loved that.
Well, they did show him film exposition, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, like his notes. Like, they did show him, because there was that scene when he called, like, I forget the nickname he gave the older, his older partner there, but he said he doesn't believe in anything, and then he said I shouldn't say that.
That's when the one cliche that just made me want to just pound my head on the table was that the guy's whose name was Father Tom, like doubting Thomas. Like, cut it out. That's just like too much. Yeah. That really annoyed me.
Though I think you're right, I sort of was struggling, and it might have been just like because it was fucking kept throwing salt at me every single time they did it. I sort of felt like there was an undercurrent that he did know a lot of this stuff, and he was still just kind of saying like the company line. And then when he would kind of like, to use a wrestling term, break kayfabe and be like, listen, if we're talking off record, I hate this fucking place. I hate the people we work for. I hate this. You know what I mean? But I feel like when he was like on that camera for like real life, like I feel like I wonder if he actually there was an undercurrent to me that it wasn't just doubting, that he was just saying what he was kind of fucking supposed to say.
Yeah, well, I think when he did finally say that he sees all this evil that everything does, then I'm like, well, why are you still there?
Right.
Like, get the fuck out.
Well, no, I mean, I got the feeling that this guy, he's working at Walt Disney World. He saw it from the outside. He thought it was going to be the greatest job in the world, and he shows up, and he got to go underneath the Magic Kingdom and realize this is a fucking this place sucks.
How much do you pay for Underneath the Magic Kingdom these days?
Ooh,
because it's been a while.
That might be the episode title.
Put that in your devil's doorway.
Yeah, I understand the tropes that you're talking about, Mars, about how the kid just out of reach, looking under the bed. Well, not so much looking under the bed, because I think anybody would do that.
Fuck that looking under the bed thing.
And
No.
seeing
just because you're scared doesn't mean no one else is going to look at a noise.
I would look at a noise, but I'd fucking have a bat.
Have a what?
A bat.
You sleep with a bat?
I sleep with a fucking hammer. So there.
You're talking about the
you
flying.
can go and you can go to where I sleep right now and go look, and there's a hammer right under my bed.
Yeah, it's also a pile of underwear and all this other shit. Air sharking. Your house is next to your bed.
It's called camouflage. But yeah, like I think that like I just don't like. And I'm also, what's another thing I'm sick? I'm sick of the fucking, the camera's still running and everybody's gone and you see the fucking, you know, like the ghostly, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it follows those tropes along with, you know, something's there, then 2 minutes later it's not there. I mean, yeah, it does follow those tropes, but it's following the tropes of supernatural and demonic horseshit going on.
Right.
Horseshit.
So
more like demonic possession, I think.
Demonic horseshit.
I don't know. I like demonic horseshit.
Come on, that's
a
all
big popular
horseshit.
drama,
You know, and just
genre.
and so it kind of lends itself to that. It's part of that. You know, so
Yeah,
even
but
though
it doesn't mean that
even though it's expected.
I'm not saying that. That's what I'm fucking saying. Fucking R.L. Stein and your goosebumps. Like I'm saying that this is that. It is that. But it's time to fucking shut it down. It's time. Like we don't like. These are those tropes. You know, like. You know, Del Shannon's Runaway was a fucking huge hit at a point. Then everybody wrote fucking Runaway. But it was fucking, like, we were done with fucking girl meets boy, boy breaks, boy loves girl, he gets his heart done long before, like, Pet Sounds was done. But that's why, like, Pet Sounds and Sgt. Pepper were revelations, because that shit had to get shut down a little bit. And now we're going 5 years strong on these fucking films, on this subgenre of these demonic possession, haunted house films.
I'll agree. They have been around a hell of a lot longer than I ever thought that they would. I mean, way back with Blair Witch Project till today. I mean, we're talking almost 20 years.
Yeah,
here.
but there's
it's this subgenre has lasted a lot longer than I ever would have thought.
For sure.
It's lasted longer than the slasher genre when you think about it, from the late 70s to the
late 80s, early 90s.
80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Then the resurgence came back in 96. But
this has been pretty consistent.
It's funny, they always
it's incredible.
I made an argument the other day, just quickly off topic, that people were talking about like how long slasher movies stayed dead. Like from like Brain Scan to like Scream, that's not that long of a time. It wasn't like they were fucking in amber, like, you know.
But how many slasher films came out during that time period?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
You know, but
it was pretty. I mean, it wasn't completely flatlined, but it was.
But it's not found
close.
footage necessarily that bothers me, because all these films aren't always found footage. For every last exorcism that might have, like, and I just watched it maybe late last year, so it's still effective. It's not really. I was afraid it was going to get fucking tarnished a little bit by people doing similar stuff. It's like, I mean, again, this was better, but like, you know, I'm talking about the Conjurings and the Insidious, which I think the first one at very least is a fucking great. But like that's the genre I'm talking of, like these fucking ghostly shenanigans of various inventiveness, and the worst are when they combine to be found footage in this, because then they do the same things all the fucking time. The fucking dumb Alzheimer's one that Wiley made me watch, and this one did a lot of the same fucking things. Like, you know, like they just and you're right. It is the tropes. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
But we need to fucking shut them
well,
down.
It's sort of. Go ahead, Skip.
Unless I think that these tropes were used in a more subversive way. And I can't really say, because we don't want to say what the movie's about.
Right.
But if you compare it to The Conjuring, in The Conjuring they can't do the exorcism without a priest, because the priests are the good guys. They ride in on the horse. Right. And this movie completely deconstructs that myth.
Yeah.
And I think so. Using familiar tropes for people, it can also be a setup to then make them see something that they weren't expected to see.
That's a great point. And I was about to say something similar, but last week we had talked about, I think you guys, what was it you guys were upset about when we were reviewing last week's movie? It was the zombie thing, and how we have this
Military.
the military being the bad guys, like the rapists and horrible people, and you guys were just sick of the same tired tropes,
Right.
which I get. But when you're making a film, you have these cinematic shorthands of this is what people know. You don't have to set it up; it's just there. And what Skip had just said is, whereas when you can take those and subvert them, I think that's really effective, even if you don't turn it on its head and change the perspective of how these different tropes are viewed. I think if you can play into them and flip them on their head a little bit, I think that's really effective. And I like that was done a little bit in this, and I do want to see more of that.
But it can do the reverse though. Like for me,
yeah,
like whatever happened at the end of that fucking chase every time just wasn't as scary. More scary was the scene where they walked out in the, like without any trickery, like all the fucking statues are broken. That's cerebrally scary. How do all the fucking statues break?
That was fucking great.
You know what I mean? I don't need a fucking dumb barefoot kid running around to be scary, because that didn't like do something to make me think of a bunch of shit I'm sick of, or that didn't do anything to like, which this film did 100% great, and in one way, in my opinion, 100% bad, make you think of what was wrong with the trappings, But I think that this movie is definitely worth watching and definitely enjoyable, because I think that it is awesome looking despite itself. It's awesome looking not despite itself. It's awesome looking despite this. That, in my humble opinion, it maybe oughtn't look as good as it does for its conceit. It is, and surely sounds way better than it ought to. It uses a lot of, you can call it cinematic shorthand. I could call it lazy, but it doesn't. It doesn't have. I mean, there's a reason that we revere the Kubricks and Jodorowskis of the world, because they're not fucking lazy. But the
yeah, but that's like the top 1% of filmmakers. Like to use Jodorowsky and Kubrick, like that's not fair.
Yeah,
Well,
you used two of my.
well,
not two of yours, but two of
Rushmore.
the most revered filmmakers of all
sure,
time.
sure.
But I mean, is it any? I mean, you have fucking television or radio. Is it any fucking?
I mean,
is it any fucking problem that 90% of the artists are unoriginal? It's just refrigerator buzzing.
I agree that you shouldn't settle, but not everyone can do that and have it be successful, especially if you're getting, depending on how the funding is involved. I mean, we don't know all that stuff, so we don't know if this is supposed to be a straightforward movie. We don't know. So, I think it was a bold decision to do it the way it was done. And could it have done a little bit more? Perhaps, yeah. But I think in Mr. Runtime's ideal runtime here of an hour and 16 minutes,
Perfect length.
Yeah.
I think you do have to, once again, I'm going to use the same word, make concessions, and using that cinematic shorthand to advance your story instead of adding an additional narrative, is very productive towards that end of making a film in an hour and 16 minutes.
This movie is, in my humble opinion, 100 times more scary if you just see the kids like behind the glass, like with that scene that was like almost like an homage to like the weird that flicker of a thing, but it got used in all the Exorcist press and stuff like that. Like, like it's just a million times more scary, and it also adds to the end because I feel like they sort of they certainly didn't show their hand, but they sort of like kind of there is a discovery that I think is more effective if they didn't keep telling you what you were going to find at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And especially since after that it went some fucking weird like dark water territory business that I didn't expect to happen at all.
Yeah.
So, I just for me, I mean, I respect Skip. He felt dread the whole time. I don't sound like
you
it.
don't respect me. I did too.
No. Well, no, I do respect you. Obviously, I respect fucking R.L. Stein and Goosebumps down there. But like
Mr. Runtime.
Yeah.
Are you giving everyone new names?
No.
What's my new name?
Add to the credits.
I already did Cookie Opus. But yeah, like I think that like for me, it's like more scary without the things that I've seen 20
Sure.
times over, and that's maybe 100 times over the past 5 years.
And this is the age-old debate, right? Of you know, not every film can be original. You know, it's just almost everything has been done at this point, and it's a matter of picking your battles to try to do something a little bit different, or to take it out of a different a different door, or try something slightly different than what's been done. You know, because that, you know, I'm sure Skip could probably speak to this more because he's an actual filmmaker, is that you can't reinvent the wheel every picture. You have to use a lot of what's come before and try to do something a little bit different in your voice. You know, how would you, Skip, if you know, not to put you on the spot, but how do you navigate, you know, the tropes and trying to do something new and original?
Well, I follow the Lou Reed said this.
Yep.
Everything's been said. You can't say anything original, but you can make it authentic. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Like, I literally am kind of like just trying to rework a page for Paranormal Punchers right now. And literally, if Skip leaned over, it literally says slasher movie cold open in my notes here. Like, and everyone knows what that is.
He's looking right now.
Without
it says that, yeah.
Without like another thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, you know, like I get it. I understand what you're saying. The problem isn't the practice. The problem is the congestion of the practice right now for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy enough for us to sit here in this room and talk about what we would like to see done. And, you know, like hopefully MZ makes a movie. He's been talking about it, but none of us have actually made,
yeah.
You know, aside from Skip, obviously, which I, you know, wanted to make sure he commented on, but none of us have made films. I dabbled and made a couple of music videos and a short film, but you know, it's hard, man. Like it's really
totally
hard.
Well,
And
I think this can also like really get to, and you brought it up before, the funding.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, people want to fund something that they know will be
Exactly.
successful, and they want to know what does it have that we're familiar with. Right. And because that was successful when they did comps, I'm sure that they had things like The Conjuring in there. And they said, "Great, here's the money, go make the movie."
And not only that too, with this director, and I am both an artist and a promoter, a human and a carny. So like, if she turned around and said to me, or even there was the implication of, I put that shit in there because I know it's popular and I, you know, was getting trying to get my movie over, or what Skip said, it helped her sell it. Fucking fine, I get it. You know what I mean? I do understand that. But I can only speak to my viewing experience in the sense where,
absolutely,
like,
and that's,
you know,
it's just giving that perspective.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Like, we can only speak about what we want to see and how we interpret it. You know, but there are other factors involved that we may not be privy to. You know, and like Skip had said, in sort of my industry, it's also a similar thing in video games where, like, people want the next World of Warcraft, the next. What's the big next Fortnite, or the next just the next big thing. And if you don't even, like, if you say I have an idea for a game and it doesn't include any of these games that they know, they're not going to even talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, so there is a little bit of that, and you could say, oh well, we're going to do Fortnite, but instead of Battle Royale, we're going to do a different twist on it, or something like that. So, you know, you can use that, but you have to do a twist. So the funding is just something we can't comprehend on a picture-to-picture basis.
And also, I gotta say, I am being hypercritical of the things that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because there's a masterpiece here, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like, this film does some things so fucking right that it's really like, it's like brushing up against greatness. And for me, it you know, like, it does some things wrong, and technically, or narrative, I don't even know how to see. That's the fucking worst part about doing these found footage movies. Narratively, technically, I guess it does some things wrong for me, but it didn't bother you at all. So I mean, you've got a 50-50 thing here that, if you're looking for what your litmus says of how much this is going to bug you. But, like, this is really close to this is a really good movie. I enjoyed this. I wasn't looking forward to watching this, and it was like a really, really, really good time. The scares didn't work for me as well as somebody, but, like, I'm really fucking busting on this stuff because for me it's frustrating. And as a first-time full-length filmmaker, you oughtn't be making masterpieces, I guess, at the end of the day. But, like, this was fucking close. This is one of the better, especially visually, first-time outings that I've seen in a long time.
And it's a bold offering, too, I think, because,
oh, sure.
To have your first film, dabble in found footage is already, like, are you typecasting yourself as a director? Or, like, can you make a dent in this already, like, very, heavy. What am I trying to say? Like, it's dense. There's a lot of found footage movies, and to try to make your stamp in that is very difficult. And
with a very strong subject to boot.
Right.
Yeah, and this is something that, like you said, Mars, and I give you a little bit of shit on social media when you said that this is like Exorcist Mad Libs, but when you look at this on paper, you have found footage, you have demonic possession. And, these are things that have been done ad nauseum over the last several years, right?
Right. Sure.
So already off the bat, I think this movie has a lot working against it where, it has to compare to all those films that came before it.
Right.
And it also has just to throw in another, is the sort of ghost... the rash of ghost movies,
dolls / kids /
yeah.
fucking shadow people /
So on paper, this
fucking Liv Tyler, whatever her name is.
Fucking Liv Tyler. What? So this already has a lot to contend with the subject matter. You have a lot to compare it to, and I think that it took all of that, and it put it in a blender. And out came something that felt new and fresh to me, which I think is an enormous success, even if it wasn't a perfect film, because to kind of navigate those murky waters and come out the other end with something that felt new and fresh and different, I think is a real success. So I think Ashleen Clark did a really amazing showing with the first feature, and to, like I said, navigate those waters and come out the other end with something that felt unique and different, even though you're playing in kind of tired territories, was very difficult.
No, it's true. I mean, when it first started it, I thought, oh Christ, it's a found footage film.
Yeah,
that was like in my head. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
I was it was right in my wheelhouse, man.
Yeah, I know, because you love the genre known as the found footage genre.
The subgenre.
I actually really enjoy it, but I just didn't want it.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't really know that this was a found footage either. Like, before we got the links, and then I looked up the trailer and saw it, and I was like, crap. Like, but because it is tired, and we've had a lot of like really mediocre to bad ones.
Yeah,
I can't even think of a really good one that we've seen. Over the course of the show. I mean, can you guys think of any off the top of your head that were really good?
I like that fucking Bigfoot one, but no one else did.
Oh, Exists
Yeah.
or
Willow
whatever.
Creek.
Willow Creek was one of the better ones. I didn't like Exists
Down
at all.
in Willow Creek.
But yeah, I mean, Willow Creek wasn't. It did some stuff well, but it was
okay,
very
not perfect.
Blair Witchy.
Sure.
Where this did something different and makes me think of it in different terms. Like, when I look at found footage, when people ask me, oh, what's a good found footage film? This is going to be in the top, near the top for me about what I'm going to pick and say, oh, Devil's Doorway.
Yeah.
And this is a film that, I know it's playing in limited theatrical. I think it is playing at the IFC Theater in New York, and I think the director, Ashleen Clark, will be in attendance for that.
I can only imagine what it must be like watching this on the big screen.
Yeah, it would be
fun.
fun. It would be fun to see it with a crowd.
Oh my God!
So I think that this is one that I feel if Blumhouse released this, I think that this would do big money, just because based on the name and the marketing they have behind it. IFC Midnight is certainly nothing to sneeze at. But I don't think they have the kind of budget to.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Like it's a different. Like, it's funny, but I mean, that's the thing that sucks about. In one breath, we do get to see horror movies and stuff in the theater, but in another breath, like, all these other distribution companies, you got to think for the most part you're not hitting theaters. Like if you get picked up, like it's just not in there. It's not part of their mission statement even.
Yeah, and I did see that this was, I think Scream Factory was going to be releasing this, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that will just get fucking thrown to the back of the bus then.
Yeah, so Scream Factory is going to release this.
Tell us to say hi to Karate Kill in the editor.
Not Karate Kill, Gunwoman.
Gunwoman, right? Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
But this, Feral, and another movie called Our House from IFC Midnight will be coming out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that movie's got tons of madness in it.
For Halloween. So if you guys are waiting for the Blue, it'll be coming out from Scream Factory around Halloween time for this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
So-
no, I'm excited to see some commentary, and I hope that they're. Yeah. This is one of those weird instances when I always talk about my fantasy Criterion.
Ooh, I don't know if you should talk about that on the show.
My fantasy.
Criterion.
Yeah, my
Thank God he
fantasy
followed that.
Criterion French Extremity box set, which is full of tons of context, historical stuff. I would love to have some of that in this too. Because I think it's one of those things where somebody could I hate to say it, especially since we're so fucking pretentious lately, but somebody could learn something.
Yeah.
Through pick up that DVD, put on the special features, and learn that the evil empire's been there all along.
There was let's see, there was a couple things that I did want to discuss, and we got into into some more interesting territory, so I didn't want to cut it off. But the other thing I wanted to bring up is and I guess everyone get their monocles ready, because one of the things I thought was, and I want to approach this carefully because it does deal with some spoilery territory, but there was something locked away, kind of in the basement. I think we talked about the underground, the magical kingdom or whatever, but there was something, some secret, and I thought that was an interesting sort of
reveal.
Well, yeah, it was an interesting reveal, but subtext about kind of this whole Magdalene Laundries thing. It was hidden away, locked up, and kind of put away and hidden from the rest of the world. And a lot of these sort of, I don't know how they're referred to, fallen women or...
fallen women.
They were just sort of outcasts and forgotten about, and I don't know if that was part of what the director had in mind, but I felt like that was sort of an interesting way of characterizing it with with one of the things that occurs in the movie. I don't want to say too much, but I just thought that was sort of an interesting subtext about the Magdalene Laundries, and I don't know if that's actually true, but that's how I sort of read it.
I think that was a perfect metaphor.
Yeah. So, there is a lot of interesting stuff here, and I didn't know much about the Magdalene Laundries ahead of time. I do recall hearing the one that you talked about, Skip, with the 800 or so odd bodies found. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, and like you said, and now there's still this sort of fight with ongoing about this, and it looks like there was some compensation paid out to survivors from the Irish government,
and some mothers are still looking for their children. I don't know if you saw Filomeno too, but they're still looking for the children, and the church is still saying they want nothing to do with you. Your kids want nothing to do with you. Right now, they're still saying that.
Wow.
So they're not letting them know where their own kids are.
What's their statement on shit like this? When they say, "Oh, we found all these bodies," and they're like, "Ah,
Jeebus."
This is my favorite thing in Dogma, Kevin Smith's Dogma, when George Carlin is the cardinal says mistakes were made.
Okay,
that's it.
That's perfect. All right,
he's got your back.
All right, so I want to start to wind this down because we spent a good over an hour. I think probably the actual runtime of the movie talking about it. So I want to start to wind things down here a little bit. One thing I will just say before we move on to the verdict is it's kind of a cool reveal, so I don't want to say, but there was one skeleton in particular that was shown in this that was pretty horrifying. Do you guys know what I'm referring to? Okay, it was toward the end where you see a certain skeleton that was kind of spooky. So
I'm not positive I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you'll have to
all right,
tell me off air.
Yeah, I'll say off air. But yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in this. Anyone else have anything to add before we head to the verdict?
Nope.
All right.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Wait.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it's verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Donna Mars.
Trick.
Treat,
sorry. Which one's the good one?
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Which one's the good one?
It would be treat. That's the good one.
I liked it.
How long we been doing this? 311 episodes?
I got goosebumps.
Moose bumps.
Yeah, you got moose bumps. That's more like it. R.L. Stein's moose bumps. All right, Skip, how about you?
Anything that has a subversive view of the Catholic Church is a treat to me.
And one thing I thought of, I actually mentioned to Mars that we're gonna have you on, Skip, and he said he's like, for another Catholic church movie. I'm like, oh my God, I'm typecasting Skip, aren't I? Shit.
Not only am I the Irish American, I'm the Irish American Catholic guy. Can't get any worse.
Next time we'll either let you pick the film or we'll do something like completely on the opposite end.
Like a sports comedy or something.
Yeah.
Major League 4 or some shit, you know?
No, let's review the Greasy Strangler again. Let's do that.
But Skip's biggest sin that Blinks dodges is that Skip lives down the street, so he can't get rid of us now. Because we'll just walk down there and do the show.
We're like, Skip, pick up.
Let us in.
All right, MZ.
Skip, Cookie Puss is outside waiting.
I absolutely love this movie. I was scared. This movie actually scared me, and that's a hard thing for me to say, and it actually happened. I will say this is definitely one of the best films of its kind, and this is definitely one of the best horror films of the year, probably the best horror film of the year that we've seen, that I've seen so far. So this is a high recommend, a very high treat.
Wow. All right, there you go. Aries.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. This movie was okay. I'm not a big found footage guy. I will never actively seek out to watch one. This movie, for 2/3 of it, the suspense was pretty good. I thought the end was kind of more of when is this going to end than.
It's an hour and 16 minutes, man.
I'm not talking like the runtime or anything. It's just like, rather than suspense, it was just kind of like, it was more of just get to it. Come on, just get to it. There was no, I wasn't, more of I wanted it to happen.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. Get on with it, move to the next thing.
What do you want, a 57-minute movie?
No, I'm nothing about the actual time. Just there was no more suspense. It was more of just get on with it in the last bit of it. That's just
and if
how
they
I was
got
feeling.
on with it, then it would have been a less than an hour movie.
Well, you know what? I didn't look at an hour and 16 minutes runtime. I just watched the movie. I thought there was more. I thought we were looking at least an hour and a half. So, and also, getting on with the whole aspect of that, it's not, the satire genre, and they're not doing anything new. I'm going to go back to the whole, you should have messed with the audio a little bit and created some different suspense, rather than all these movies rely solely on visual suspense. They could have done. I'm getting the finger.
No, you're getting pointed at because you're fucking a smarty commodity.
Yeah, I mean, you could add so much more to these movies by just messing with the audio, and I don't know. You could create a whole subgenre for your MZ.
No.
The audio, the found footage, fucked up sound.
They
genre?
treated the They treated the audio fine.
No. I think it's a missed opportunity.
In order for us to watch the movie, the audio was very important, and I totally disagree with you.
And I agree with MZ, disagreeing with you.
Fuck the both of you. Meet me out back in the alley.
Yeah.
Cut his mic.
Your credibility
I do that.
just went down the toilet.
But yeah, no. All in all, I mean, it was a treat. It was an enjoyable watch. It was a nice, quick watch. So yeah, a treat.
All right, Raven Shadow.
I'm definitely a lot more with Aries on this one. All jokes about the running time aside, it was a long hour and 16 minutes.
Oh, for God's sake.
You didn't say anything during that. Like, we talked for an hour and 16 minutes about the film, and you said, like, one thing.
Yeah.
A 9.
It was.
It's a long
it was a
hour
9
and 16
out of 10.
minutes.
No, I liked Father Tom. That he ripped butts. That was nice.
I mean, if you got red ants crawling up your asshole, that's
Are you telling me now?
That's a long hour and 16 minutes. For Christ's sake.
I still think I like exorcism movies.
I don't like
Exorcism movies.
I don't think I do, man. I mean, like this.
Do you like The Exorcist?
That's the thing. What more can you do from there?
Rec.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, do you like
Rec
Rec?
Did I?
I think so.
I
Well,
don't
actually, you probably didn't because there's subtitles.
No, I don't have a subtitle thing.
That's me with the subtitle
You
thing.
don't have a subtitle thing?
He has just a reading thing in general.
It's a reading comprehension thing.
No, I can read. I got my progressives now. I'm doing a lot. I read comics the other night. I was very excited.
Nice.
I read also one with Robin and Superboy team up with Blue Falcon and Dynamite. And
All right, get to it.
You haven't read the fucking comic. It's
No,
great.
I haven't.
I was gonna buy a few, but it was sold out. Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's a treat. I like the little back and forth.
As he threw his headphones off.
Well, I think you.
I like the little back and forth.
That was definitely a Monster Zero review there. Oh, that did look bad. It sound bad. I hated it. Treat.
Yeah.
You're just afraid to go against everyone else.
Why? I'm supposed to start now?
It feels good to go against everyone else.
It's not my first rodeo, but no. I mean, I do like. I liked the setting. The setting was nice.
You don't have to justify it.
I feel I fucking do because I said the thing, and then you're doing your shit.
You're doing it backwards, though. This is the stuff you're supposed to say while we're talking.
Yeah,
about
while
the
we're talking
movie.
about the movie.
really.
That's what I'm saying.
We have Skip here. He's talking,
And we have you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes out of your mouth is how many titles you have it next to your name when
That's
we do the
fucking
introduction.
right.
Yeah, and he's got
Monster
another
Zero.
one tonight.
That's right. 13.
Fuck you, Johnny. No, we don't.
Yeah.
Why don't you
All
tell
right.
us how good Gold Mask is?
Fucking
Goldface.
Goldface. Yeah, Skip. You ever see Goldface, The Legend of the Italian Superman? That's a fucking movie.
All right, I'm gonna go. You done?
Oh, I thought you went already.
No.
No, fucking
Johnny,
monocle.
just go.
All right,
For
treat,
Christ's
treat, right?
Yes, you said that. All right. So, yeah, for me, this is also a treat, and I guess I said pretty much all I needed to say earlier. When you're navigating these kind of murky waters, and and doing a film that deals with territory that's been done a lot over the last few years, and you come out the other end with something that feels fresh and original, then you really did something. And I think that Ashleen Clark has, this is a great debut, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what else she can do after this. And so definitely a treat for me. And having said that, I mentioned earlier that she has signed on to do 2 more films, and I'll just want to read this real quick. The headline, Dublin-based film production company working on post-apocalyptic horror. Rainy Days will be an unusual, hopeful horror with child protagonists. So it says Fantastic Films. So not Fantasia, it's Fantastic Films. The Dublin-based horror production company will be working with Irish director Ashleen Clark on a new movie. Speaking to Hut Press to promote a screening of Devil's Doorway, she revealed some details. She said, I'm working with Fantastic Films on a couple projects. Attached to one as a director that I haven't written. Then there's one I am writing and directing called Rainy Days. It's a post-apocalyptic story that's a bit unusual. It's ultimately hopeful. It's got child protagonists, but it is, of course, a horror film. And the writer-director said she's very excited to be working with Fantastic Films, who she called Ireland's best-known, most successful genre production company. I know we've seen that header at the front of a lot of films that we've done over the years, so... Fantastic Films has put out The Hallow, which we reviewed.
Yep.
I Am Not a Serial Killer, which we've also reviewed, and Wakewood, which we have not.
Great movie.
What's it called? Wakewood?
Wakewood, yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I have not seen it. So, obviously, they've done some good stuff, and it's really interesting. So she got 2 films that she's working on with Fantastic Films. Rainy Days sounds interesting, a post-apocalyptic man, I can't even say that fucking word today. Post-apocalyptic horror, which is unusual and hopeful. So it sounds interesting. So
And it looks like she's tackling another subgenre that
has had a lot said about it in the last few years.
Yeah.
So hopefully she's able to do sort of what she was the same thing she was able to do with this with this genre. Hopefully she can do something different and interesting with that. So yeah, look forward to see what Ashleen Clark has up her sleeve for the next couple films, and we'll certainly keep an eye out. Well, that is going to do it for our discussion of The Devil's Doorway. Now next week, for our film discussion, we're going to be heading to a new VOD release that had a very successful theatrical run, and we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place. Now, Dynamo and I have both seen the movie in theaters, and I don't believe the other guys have seen it. Have you seen it yet, Skip? Did you get a chance to see it? I haven't. Okay, so we're going to check
Come on
out.
over.
I'll be in Montreal.
Wow.
So we're going to check, speaking of post-apocalyptic world, that it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. So, and it was directed by and starring John Krasinski from, I don't know if you guys have seen The Office. Any of you guys fans of The Office?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of a popular show, John. I mean, it was around for a long time.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know if you guys watched it.
Yeah, but you guys don't go to think the theater works unless it's a fucking Star Wars or Marvel movie playing. So don't just because they're popular.
It wasn't Office the movie. It was Office on.
No,
they show
but
it
I'm
like
just
4
saying,
times
like-
a day.
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so you know Jim Halpert?
Yeah.
See,
Well,
he knows him.
He was almost Captain
MZ
America.
didn't.
No, you had no idea.
You ever watch The Office, MZ?
Nope.
You see?
It's got robots that turn into fucking staplers.
Oh,
Dude, like
shit,
that.
I'm all over that then.
And dwarfs.
Have you had my stapler?
It's got Beats, Bears, and Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Nice. I'm all over that shit.
So, but no, it's interesting to see Jim Halpert in a horror movie, and I wasn't quite sure if I'd be able to take him seriously.
He's the new Jack Ryan. Right?
He is, yeah, he is the new Jack Ryan. So,
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
yeah, he kind of took this big turn from being this sort of dorky guy on The Office to now being an action hero, and
You know his name was
horror
tossed
star.
around for Captain America.
I do,
right?
yeah. You just said that like 10 seconds ago.
Well, I thought you fucking no-sold me. Like you were doing on the show.
No, he was in talks to play the role. So pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll check out A Quiet Place, and I bet a lot of you have already seen it, and if not, it is available to rent on most VOD, I believe. I know it's definitely available on Prime Video, Amazon Prime. So if you guys have seen it or want to see it, what you can do is next week send in a review. Let us know what you think, and that'll be our topic, I guess. We're not going to have a special question, but as always, you guys are welcome to send in any old feedback you want, any films that we've reviewed in the last 310 episodes, or something you've seen recently, or just you have any questions for us. You guys can always send that stuff in. Voicemail, email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com, or even tweet us at the Deadites. So all right, so we're going to head to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of our favorite cinematic exorcism scenes. And MZ, tell the folks how long until we're back.
Hey, we'll be back in 2 and 2.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
It's a good jam, Mars.
I like that song.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. You did a good thing. We did a good thing, and it's for a good cause, and those two ladies are fucking unbelievable. Donna Matrix and Oracle, just fucking unreal. Like, I'm just singing like a fucking flat drunkard the whole time.
A flat American-Irish drunkard.
Yeah. Which, if you've ever seen me, I'm at least a strong B cup. But like the reality, I'm very proud of. I've done a lot of stuff that I might have did more, like had more to do, but the and Myra K Rock over at MK Sounds did all the heavy lifting, but the track listing of that thing and how it all runs together and everything else, like I am very proud of it. So pick it up, even if you don't care about people that are sick. It's good. It's got good jams.
Let people know once again. I guess while we're on the topic about the GoFundMe.
Yeah. Also, Alexander came over this week, who is doing the GoFundMe for KMC. I think they might tweak the. I only was listening from the other room, but I think they might tweak the because he just put an arbitrary thing. They might pull down the total or put it up. I don't know what they're doing, but like,
just altering it a little bit.
Yeah, just alter it a little bit because they figured out exactly. They focused on one element of what KMC needs. That's how much it is, and that's what they're gonna do. But there's been in just a few days, 42 people have raised over $2,000, which is amazing. So I'm very impressed. I'm very grateful. I'm hoping to get KMC to come on sometime and just thank everybody. But I know Alexander filmed some more video this week with her. You can look up the GoFundMe by going to GoFundMe. We Love Kim Cody. And Cody is spelled C-O-T-E, not how it sounds, C-O-D-Y. And it's just fucking, it's a really great thing. And she needs it more than ever now. But the reality is that, she was lucky because we were talking to Alexander, and there's horror stories about people who literally had $1 million bills on the other end of this. And, she's got some stuff today. She was telling me over coffee that her 401k company called out, and when her mom died, she took out a loan versus her 401k that she was paying off. Well, she went on disability, so that's not going. So now they're coming after her for that to a degree, unless they get the paperwork right. So are they going to cut into her 401k or whatever's going to happen? But, at the end of the day, they have monetized our wellness. And Kim Cody is a victim of it. And the reality is, I know a lot of fucking great people. I know a lot of fucking pirates. My relationship aside with her, I thought this when I, was just staring at her at Coffee Kingdom from across the room. I don't think there is anyone in the world that will agree that she's not a phenomenal person.
That won't agree.
Yeah, won't agree. Yeah, that she's not a phenomenal person. Aries likes her. I think that's the biggest, compliment that you can have in a world. So I think,
Probably because she doesn't put up with your shit.
She kind of puts up with my shit.
I guess, yeah. I guess, what's it been, 14 years or something?
Yeah, but I mean, also I'm very good at she's probably, I don't think she's grateful for my depression, but I think she's grateful for the 5 or 6 days in a row I spend in my bedroom. But I think that, check it out. And there's going to be some more fundraisers at the end of the year, because the thing that I always put across for Darkness for Light is I was real sick 3 times in my life. And one thing that I learned is a lot of people stepped forward and did these great events for me, but I was still broke. It's very expensive to be sick, and you fall behind. So I'm hoping to do a bowling thing at the end of the year. That's towards the end of the year. That's going to be fun. A road race, maybe a bike race. I'm going to talk to some of my Deadites that's what they do.
Can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
What about some sort of online stream where people around the world can participate?
Yeah, no, I think that would be great too. I mean, here's the thing. While I'm not just Darkness for Light, there's MK Sounds, The Cove, Alexander, and I consider the man next to me right here to be an ally in it, and Trick or Treat Radio, and all the other people who help too. It's a big thing, and I didn't pick Kim Cody. This was unanimous before it even got to me. I couldn't vote it down. And
if you tried, I think you would be in trouble.
Plus she seems little, but Myra is very tough. But for me, what this is we're going to do it a little earlier this year. So I would say in February or so, KMC picks the next person or organization, I guess.
Yep.
So what I'm doing right now is kind of laying down the groundwork of there'll be a Darkness for Light show. There'll be another show, another compilation that's centric to that particular person. Next year there'll be a bike race, maybe a stream, maybe
So the machine will just keep rolling.
Yeah, because what I want to have happen is not just have somebody get their bills paid. I want Darkness for Light to be a thing that if something terrible happens to Aries, right? Aries, despite the fact he busts my balls,
he is a god.
He's a fucking phenomenal human being. He helps me a lot. So I don't want Aries to just get on his feet. I want to kind of turn the tide of this situation and have somebody, even if it's just $5, even if it's just the experience of knowing that these things happen. I want somebody to not just get ahead. I want people who Darkness for Light helps to come out better than they were when they had this, at least financially, and knowing that people care about you. So it's not just a benefit. So there's the Kickstarter, and the song you played is off Black Cat Anthems for Redheaded January Girls, and it's fucking great. I really love it, and not just because I only have one song on it, but it's full of my friends and great musicians and heroes and everybody that's in this room except for Aries, actually. Because what was it? It was Aries away or MZ away? I think Aries was away when we recorded the interstitial for it, because I think Monster Zero calls KMC Babe.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Babe. But yeah, it was a fucking great time.
He's like Matt Riddle with bro.
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
Babe.
Bro. Babe.
Yeah, but I thank everybody for their support thus far, and I thank everybody for their support going forward. And I just am, I am tickled to be part of Darkness for Light and use the little bit of fucking pull that I have in the world, which isn't very much, the little bit of influence I have, the little bit of gravity I have to make a difference.
So everyone go check it out and help support KMC, Darkness for Light, just everything. So the GoFundMe, once again, just look for Kim Cody.
Yeah.
COTE. And if you can contribute, please do.
Yep.
So
if everybody that heard this gave $1 in the next week, she could probably pay her mortgage, So for a month, not forever, but we do live in a dumb part of the world. But thanks everybody for her and from the whole organization on behalf of Myra and Teddy and everybody else. Thank you very much.
So we do have some voicemail to get to, but I think those folks are going to be talking about some of their favorite cinematic exorcisms. I have one that I don't want anyone else to steal, so I might go first. Because this movie, once again, as is tradition, I try to pick a movie that we reviewed. I don't know why. I just like to kind of cross-reference the show. But this really, I think there's some low-hanging fruit out there. But I think this one is genuinely one of the best exorcism scenes I've ever seen in a movie, and that would be The Wailing. That fucking exorcism scene when there's the dude is doing the dance and the drums and
yes.
Wow, is that scene amazing?
Right.
Skip, have you seen The Wailing by chance?
I have not, and I have it I have the Blu-ray right on my desk.
Oh man, that was one of my favorites that year. I think was the last year we saw it or the year before, but that movie is that was a tour de force for me. That was a masterpiece.
See, that's when I look at the runtime, I said not tonight.
Right. Yeah, well, it's a 2.5 hour South Korean movie, so yeah, I totally get it.
It was interesting talking to our boy Corando about that film because politically and nationalistically, he had a different take on it, like the politics.
Oh, sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
that's something we don't necessarily get the cultural reference to because we don't know what it's like and we don't live there. But I think if I recall correctly, did we have Tim from Korea?
Yep.
On for that one, yeah, and he gave us some great insight, obviously, and which he always does. Speaking of which, Tim from Korea is going to be Tim from Canada soon.
I know, I can't fucking wait.
And he might be just a long drive, but just a drive away.
Yeah.
He'll be, connected.
I'm so excited about that.
And he
prospect.
did. I will tease something. He said one day he will come in the studio.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got a house with 3 bedrooms and 2 people that sleep on the different couches. So
yeah.
if you're ever in the area, please, I'll be helping out the Shadow Chateau of not having to put everybody up all the time. So
there you go.
I might have to go live at the Shadow Chateau.
The Raven Chateau.
Yeah, sorry.
So
he franchised.
Yes,
he franchised. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, he was he lives in Colin Reznikiewicz's house, but next door at Jody Bax's house, he put the Raven Chateau.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'll have a whole chain.
Right.
Trying, man.
Raven Shadow lives in my old neighborhood.
It's true.
That must be weird.
Yeah,
It is. Especially where we used to do the old NCW, so it was very weird that it's there now. But
I did things and stuff in that house.
Ooh, so did I.
Played life.
Not a lot lately, but yeah, it was a good run.
All right, who wants to go next? Marsman.
I really enjoyed The Last Exorcism to not only bring in possession, but bring in found footage. I think that's one of the better found footage films. And I like the fact that, talk about subversion of the church, the fact that this guy is just carny. You know what I mean? He's just boiling it down. I really, really like that. And
I've never actually seen that. So it's worth watching?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think everybody would like it. And like I said, I was afraid when I went back because KMC had never saw it, and I think KMC, maybe Myra or somebody else was over, and I was like, "You guys have never seen this fucking movie?" And I showed it to them, and I was afraid through watching it that its children would have made it over the time, all these other found footage movies that come out since would have affected it. But I liked it a lot.
Skip, is it going to? I don't want to ruin anything. I don't think it's a spoiler, but I was going to play a little bit of the whaling scene.
I've been watching actually.
Oh, okay. This is the if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the exorcism scene. It really works with the music as well. A second of it. Yeah, the whole thing is
it's pretty incredible,
phenomenal. All right, who wants?
Why is it always women are possessed? Like,
yeah, you're right. It is. I actually never thought about that, but you're right. It's. I hope that there's not sort of the connotation that they're weaker.
What's funny about that is I feel like and maybe you guys will know that the story that The Exorcist was based on was actually a little boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was
so
based on
I
a
think
true
it's
story.
like not. I think it's a cinematic thing, not a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just because I wonder if you already have more sympathy for, for a girl or a woman? I don't know if that's sort of like, once again, one of those cinematic shorthand things, or if there really is the connotation that they're, weaker, which, obviously if that is the case, that's pretty fucked up.
Well,
But
I can't think of any male possessed.
Well, my second one
by the devil.
My second pick had a lot of people possessed, so there were some boys, but they weren't very. It wasn't necessarily about
gender
or about exorcism per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think why do all slashers have masks? I think it's just something that the first time it fucking happened, it was so fucking good. They just kept doing it.
Everyone just does it. Yeah. Like someone sets a precedent, and then it just continues to get followed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll I have to say it. I mean, I have to say The Exorcist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I was 13 when it came out. I was not allowed to see it.
Yeah.
Fair.
But my mother bought the book for me. Like, well, okay. So I just scared the shit out of myself then anyway. But so they re-released it in '77, so I was 17, and I got to see it in the cinema. And that whole, and I love Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
And anything. But that the power of Christ compels you. I mean, all of that is just amazing. And it's iconic.
Absolutely. And I think someone had mentioned this, like, you're never going to top that. Like, that is the pinnacle of exorcism. I can't even imagine anyone, like, that's why I like this one, because it feels so different, because it's sort of a ritual in a way where it's not, it's a different culture. But yeah, that's why I think, because it's so diametrically opposed to what happened in The Exorcist, is why I like it so much. But
that looks great.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I mean, that movie is a tour de force. It's incredible, and that whole scene is just fucking incredible. And yeah, Max von Sydow is amazing in that movie, and he's pretty much amazing in everything.
Yep.
And I love that he's still kicking, and we saw him in most recently. I think we saw obviously in the Star Wars Force Awakens. He played a little bit character at the beginning there that gets killed by Kylo Ren. And
that's right. It was him.
Yep. So
I got a couple. I got Virgin Spring and The Seventh Seal at home, on DVD and everything. It just.
I have like every Bergman film.
Right. Bergman's amazing. His use of shadow is just ridiculous. God.
The Hour of the Wolf is actually one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And it's his.
I've never seen
Which
that.
one?
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
It's so fucked
Never
up.
seen it.
Hour of the Wolf?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Maybe
I have a big.
Like that's an hour running time.
So there you go. Perfect.
I have a big Bergman blind spot in my film watching, so it's something I definitely would like to correct. MZ.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I got two on my mind, and I don't know which one to go with. I don't know if I want to go serious or if I want to go a little less serious.
Do both.
Do both?
No.
No,
Pick
I don't.
one
No,
and
I
you
got
go
to
back
pick
to the other
Pick
one.
one and you come around. Okay.
All right, I'll pick one.
Aries is the fucking law around here.
Oh yeah, because you know what? We're not going to have people stealing other people's movies and people getting bent out of shape.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. No. All right, I'll go a little less
Oh, I
series.
actually know which one you're
I
going
know.
to go.
Exactly,
Yeah, I know
he's
exactly.
taking mine.
And yeah, you know what? I think Repossessed.
I knew it.
Yeah, fucker.
God damn it!
That fucking
That's it, I'm
movie's
out.
amazing.
Yeah.
Come on.
You took both theirs.
Come on.
Way
I
to go,
mean,
Aries.
where are you gonna find an exorcism scene where you have Jesse Ventura and Mean Gene Okerlund involved?
God
in it,
damn it!
I mean, how perfect is it? It's so stupid and it's so
Yeah.
funny, and it's so Zucker Abrams Zucker, and with the type of comedy that goes on in that movie, and Leslie Nielsen is wonderful as Father May I and Father May I. And,
I haven't seen that movie since literally the late 80s, I think.
that movie is fucking brilliant.
Maybe early 90s.
That's when James Woods was funny.
Right?
Yeah, when he wasn't a D-bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, and the you have Leslie Nielsen as Father May I, dressed up as all sorts of different pop stars singing "Devil with a Blue Dress On," and, and that's how you get rid of the devil, apparently. So,
And the return of Linda Blair in the role.
yeah, right. I mean,
That was actually almost my pick, you know.
really.
Yeah, that was mine.
What makes that movie great is that she chose to do that movie rather than endorse The Exorcist 3.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah.
Which now that's a fucking movie.
By the way, this is still going on.
I know. I'm like, how many animals are they bringing in? There's goats now. And it's like fucking Noah's Ark at this one.
I haven't. Does anybody have another favorite other than those two? Another favorite Linda Blair movie, real quick?
The one when she's in prison.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Was that Caged Heat?
Yeah. Savage Streets, Caged Heat.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for the film Grotesque, which has the most fucking bug shit ending movie, the most bug shit crazy movie ending, and then has the most bug shit crazy movie ending after that.
Grotesque is that
more
the
than
Asian film?
No.
More than The Seventh Curse?
The last 5 minutes of this movie makes the whole running time of Seven Curse and Neon Maniacs look like perfect linear, normal storytelling.
Wow, I have to see it then.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
The movie's fucking really low level. It's got fucking Zadar as like a fucking evil punk rocker, but it's really like low level slasher business. But it has like the slasher movie happens, and then you see this thing at the end, like the postscript where there's like fucking the survivors are like put on fucking trial, and like they get it like it's not like super. It's not like a movie's worth. It's like really fast. And then something happens at the end, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then something happens at the end, and you're like, "What?"
What the double fuck?
Yeah, like I'll. It's even if I tell you, it won't ruin it. So I'll tell you guys off air like what goes down, but it's fucking crazy.
Oily Maniac is in the chat room, and he says that Exorcist sequels had possessed men/boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say Exorcist 3. I forgot about
right.
that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Since you guys mentioned Exorcist, yeah.
Well, that
3.
was my serious one, actually.
Exorcist 3 was?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one in a while either.
I just watched it like
Exorcist-
a couple months ago.
I
It
just
holds
watched it like
up.
a month ago.
It holds up. It's wonderful.
Is it better than Exorcist 2?
Ooh.
Yes.
I think we did it on Elm
such-
Street, kids. I think
Did you?
that's when I saw
You
it
might
last.
have, yeah.
Exorcist 3 is the one that's kind of like the official 2, right? They're saying like
Yeah.
about 2 and
Yeah.
1.
It's
All right.
just so good that third film.
It is.
I enjoyed
So
it.
good.
Which was the one? Was it 2 that explored further, like about Pazuzu?
That was 2.
2, yeah. Okay, yeah.
With James Earl Jones.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, shit.
The last 10 minutes of 2, as I remember, it reminded me of like fucking a Teen Titans comic when Trigon shows up. Like, it's just, like what's even fucking buildings are shaking and like what's going on?
All right, since MZ stole something from you guys, do you have one?
Yeah, fuck you. Oh no, well, okay.
You can also say one that's already been said. You can, if you want to.
No. I'm just gonna go even more off topic here, and I believe
That's
it was
kind of your gimmick.
Oh, it is. People love me for it. People come up to me in the street all the time.
I
love when you go off topic.
Aries.
Off topic Aries.
Yeah.
No, I believe it was I think it was Scary Movie 2 with James Woods in the beginning, where you're seemingly performing an exorcism, sweating and flies and everything, and then the big reveal, he's just on the toilet.
I've actually never seen any of the scary movie movies.
Oh, for what they are enjoyable. Parodies of horror movies.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there you go. So it's James Woods taking a shit.
Yep. Can't get better than that.
Exercising his bowels. All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, top that.
I don't know if I can. I don't know.
Just say the rap battle from Teen Witch. That'll work.
The rap battle from Teen Witch? That's pretty good. How about a reverse exorcism?
A reverse exorcism? Is that a sexual maneuver?
Yeah. John, I'll give you a reverse exorcism. That'll be nice. No, what did Beetlejuice do?
He was a bioexorcist.
What did Beetlejuice do?
Yeah, when he comes in, makes everyone like do the dancing, the
all right.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's not, no.
Come on, come down, Mayengo.
You know what? It's not a stupid answer.
Thank you, Monster Zero.
It's not a stupid answer.
Actually, if I had thought of it, I would have said that because that's a good one. I like that.
See, I was doing
bioexorcism.
You would have said,
like
"What
that.
did Beetlejuice do?"
No, but I would have said a bioexorcism. That's a good answer. I like that.
That's a good answer.
I'm gonna make you a shirt that says, "What would Beetlejuice do?"
WWBD.
And it would have the human Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah. Fuck you, man.
All right,
that's not a dumb answer.
No, I could get with that.
See, I'm smart. Not like everyone says.
Don't overdo it.
SMAHT.
You just came up with a good
I'm
answer.
smart.
Yeah.
All right, you just came up with a good answer. You're not Neil deGrasse
stop
Tyson,
there.
okay?
Yeah, I'm Neil deGrasse Junior High.
Neil deGrasse Junior High. Oh, all right. So why don't we go to the voicemail? And we got one. As always, we can count on a great answer from our boy, First Time Mike. So he sends in a voice message. Someone share the headphones with Aries.
Don't
What's
all
up,
jump on
Trick or
that
Treat
one.
family? This is
Yeah,
First
just go ahead and
Time
play it.
Mike. How's everybody doing? Hello, Skip, if you're still there. Hope all is well with you. And hope everybody's doing okay. I got a little bit of some of my favorite exorcism movies. And not my favorite genre, but I have some good ones here. Out of all the ones that came out in the 70s, one of my favorite one is called Beyond the Door, also known as Who Are You, or in Italian, Ci Sei, by Ovidio di Assanitis, and it stars Juliet Mills and the great Richard Johnson. And it's pretty much a ripoff of The Exorcist, The Omen, Rosemary's Baby. And I like it. It has your classic Exorcist riffs. You know, the puking up stuff, the crazy eyes, the head spinning, but there's like a sleazy quality that only good quality Italian ripoff cinema can get. And also of note, which I didn't know until I did a little bit of research, it was also sued by Warner Brothers and they won. They got a cash settlement with the company that was distributing it, and also a portion of the revenues. For the movie. It's sleazy. It's called. There's a British version that has more footage, which I've never seen. I can remember renting the movie, but Beyond the Door, the first one, Beyond the Door 2 is Shock by Mario Bava, also a good movie, and Beyond the Door 3 is a weird movie that happens on a train with Bo Svensson in it, but you want to get the original one, Beyond the Door. Check it out. It's a really great, creepy exorcist movie. The second one I want to talk about is 1920. It's an Indian horror movie from 2008. And it's a Indian horror movie, and they have a lot of possession movies. I've only seen a couple of them. There's been a bunch on YouTube, and it's a type of horror movie I'm exploring in addition to like the Korean stuff like you guys have been having and other ones. This one is interesting because it's not just there's a Catholic exorcism, but there's also mentions of atheism in the 20s in India, which was very controversial at the time, and also the Hindu faith, because the exorcism that is the best part of the movie, spoilers, so if you don't want to listen, just don't listen to me until Johnny says, that's a pretty good voicemail the first time, Mike. But it's a 3-minute crazy exorcism where the hero grabs the possessed lady and recites a Hindu prayer to the monkey god Hanuman called the Hanuman Chalisa. And it's a beautifully energetic, almost wuxia exorcism that is going through walls and an almost Evil Dead energy to it. It's one of my favorite exorcism scenes. The narration of the prayer is powerful as it echoes through the house. There's some beautiful camera work. It's available on YouTube. Check it out. It's put in 1920, the Hanuman Chalisa. It's one of my favorite exorcisms in the movies right now. This is first time Mike, hoping everything is well with you, saying good night. Bye.
Man, first time Mike with the deep cuts all the time.
That was great.
Yeah. Good phone call.
I've never even heard of 1920, but that sounds, the way he talked about it sounds fucking awesome.
Yep.
And, we have seen, I don't know that we've done too many on this show, but, Indian films. We did Abhay, right, Mars? Is that, I think
we sure did.
And CDR hasn't been back on the show since, I don't think.
Still mad at me.
Yeah. But yeah, we haven't explored too much in the way of Indian cinema, but this sounds really cool. So,
Three Devadan.
Well, it's Turkish.
That was
No.
Turkish.
Yeah. Because they don't give a fuck about copyright. So,
To be fair, Bollywood's not too awful broken up about it either.
They're a little bit more judicious about it, though.
This is definitely a Nightmare on Elm Street kung fu musical.
I can't hear you.
That's weird. I'm talking right in the microphone. It's on.
No, you weren't. It's better now. But no, it sounds really cool. So that and Beyond the Door he talked about, and a few other things. So as always, great call, first time Mike, and we love hearing from you, buddy. Love those deep cuts. Keep them coming. And I don't know if they're going to talk about cinematic exorcisms, but we've got a couple more voicemails. So let's hear from our boy Riku.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Riku. So, after the last show, I fell down a deep rabbit hole looking at what the heck Fudgy the Whale and Cookie Puss were, and all I can tell you is they look delicious, and also, oh my god, that Carvel dude's voice is terrifying. Just sounds like he smokes 50 cigars in 20 minutes to just get ready to record so he can get his voice nice and sound like he's gargling molten glass and asphalt. Anyway, had you guys heard about the giant black sarcophagus that was recently discovered in ancient Egypt? And I figured with your all's horror knowledge, you could think of some pretty cool ideas what could be inside of it. Anyway, that's it for me. Bye!
Awesome, Riku. Thank you, man. I'm glad you checked out those Carvel commercials because they are certainly one of a kind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I just love that sort of local, like people, like, I guess some people might know Creature Double Feature. Like, I don't know if that was
national.
Yeah, like I think it was just a local thing, though, right? But I don't know if it was so, like, if it got like any, people ever taped it and shared it. I don't know, but it's always interesting to think about those sort of local things. Like, I think back in the day, everyone had their, a local horror host or something like that, So it's always cool to sort of reminisce about that stuff. And we have we've talked about Fudgy the Whale before. And then we've also talked about, MZ, who was the character you portrayed for Halloween a couple years ago?
Chow Daddy.
Chow Daddy.
Oh, Chow Daddy.
Chow Daddy. So, like, we have
Pizza.
Chow. Yeah.
Spaghetti. Burgers.
If If you go in my
Desserts.
80s playlist that I made, that shit's rotten with the Carvel commercials and Creature double feature intros. So.
And then during Force 5, they'd always show Mr. Big Toyland commercials.
Yep.
From Waltham. Which is a cool store that sold all like die-cast metal.
It's like proto Monster Zero porn.
Yeah.
Roaring ready and rock steady.
I'm tired of pretending I don't like spaghetti.
But school lunch, excuse me.
Roaring ready and rock steady.
I think this year you should
Pizza.
go as Robolod Monster Zero.
Oh.
I always thought that was like Charles Nelson Riley. I guess it's not.
I'm Robolod, and I'm from Mars, and I eat all sorts of candy bars.
But what is this? Some earth fruits? It
Tastes
is good.
good.
It is good. It is yummy and not bad. Wait till I tell the other Martians about this.
By only eating
Candy bars, we don't know what we missed.
Do you guys know how to spell that? I want to look it up.
Did you not? Do you not remember that, Aries?
Robolar. I think it's Robolar.
Aries when Aries was 5, he's running like a
R-O-B-U-L-A-R.
fucking protection racket, so he doesn't remember.
Yeah. He stole everyone's candy bars and fruit. Give me the fucking fruit, Robolide. I'll punching the mush.
Is it Robolar or Romular?
Is this it?
Oh my fucking.
Yes.
Yes. I'm Robolod. I'm from Mars, and I eat all kinds of candy bars. What is this? Some earth fruit?
Carmen Miranda's in that.
It is good. It's better than good. It's yummy and not bad. Oh, wait till I tell the other Martians about this. By only eating candy bars, we don't know what we missed. A good food message from...
You guys literally recited it word for word.
Man, that was are you kidding me? Watching cartoons after school, that was on 10 times a day.
Yeah.
That's ingrained into our memories.
The first comment says he's definitely no Chow Daddy.
Yeah, you fucking ain't right. Is that Monster Zero?
Chow Daddy moonwalked, for Christ's sake. I don't recall Robolar moonwalking at all.
Well, now we have to watch Chow Daddy again. I can never get enough of it. Fucking Chow Daddy.
Oh my god, did you ever see this, Skip? It's amazing.
Oh.
I'm tired of candy, tired of gum, tired of hunger, and food that's no fun. I'm tired of pretending I don't like spaghetti, but school lunch keeps me roaring ready and rock steady. Pizza, spaghetti, burgers.
With Chow Daddy in your school cafeteria, it's the fun place to be for lunch.
Desserts.
Chow Daddy's an advocate for childhood obesity.
Yeah, pizza, burgers,
desserts.
Oh man!
But did Chow Daddy years later he was arrested for drugs?
Really?
Yeah.
But there wasn't one Chow Daddy, was?
That's why he was always hungry.
Uppers,
Downer,
Quaaludes,
cocaine,
nose candy,
nose candy,
Jibbers,
Maui Wowies,
Primo God,
Acapulco Gold, hash,
heroin suppository,
horse tranquilizers,
K. I've said too much.
Tide Pods, bath salts, free base.
Reeves get me roaring ready, rock steady.
Mescaline.
Oh man!
I'm tired of pretending.
Oh,
I don't like what.
I like sobriety.
Sorry, I didn't want to forget the point of Rico actually asked us a question.
He did?
What we think is in that black sarcophagus that they just dug
Chow
up?
Daddy.
That's it.
That's right. I can't come up with anything better than that.
That's it.
Holy shit!
Imagine they open up and it really is Chow Daddy.
Burgers.
Chow Mummy.
Chow Mummy.
Wrapped up. Trying to bust loose.
Chow Mummy. See that's why we keep you around, Raven Shadow. Every couple episodes, you come out with something like that.
See, there you go, saving it up.
Chow Mummy. Well, there you go, Riku. I don't think we can come up with anything better than that. So.
You definitely are like the Dave Roberts of this podcast.
Every now and again, you do come through.
Yep.
You're going to get in the Hall of Fame, but you got to try to remember why.
It's a really important bass stealer.
That dude's in the Hall. Oh, he stole that bass that
Stole
time.
that fucking bass. The Mala walk. Pinch run.
Oh, shit. Okay, so we have one more voicemail in 2 parts. This is from Dynamo's legitimate son, Pabst.
Hey guys, it's Paps. Just calling
Good
in.
bears.
I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I spent all day drinking and playing with a katana. So I was actually passed out before 9 o'clock, but I've been working my way through the episode, and I'm fairly interested in The Cured. And one of my friends actually messaged me today about it, said that it got added to Prime, so I plan on checking that out in the near future. Recently went to Salem. Some of my friends out there run this thing called Rot Your Brain, where they'll screen old, B or more like Z grade horror and action movies at Cinema Salem. They rent out a little room.
Oh yeah, I love that place.
A lot of times they donate the proceeds to some sort of organization. The first one they did when they brought it back this year was Shockma, so they donated to this like primate something fund.
Oh, we know. Nice. We know. We're aware of it.
The movie that I saw was Brain Scan.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun. That movie was fucking ridiculous.
Brain Scan
Edward
episodes.
Furlong, being Edward Furlong, just being a total fucking creep in that movie. like what a goddamn voyeur, spying on his neighbor all the time, and trickster. I thought that movie was a ton of fun, and I had a blast seeing it. I didn't even look at what the question was this week.
I'm going to pause right there, and Paps, I don't know how deep you go into the back catalog, but we actually reviewed Shockma and Brain Scan. I'll let you look up Shockma because I don't think Dynamo would like me pimping out that episode.
No, you can see how poorly they treat your fucking dad. These guys were fucking dicks. Aries, I'll tell you this, he don't like me all the time, but he never would have let that happen. These guys were trying to get over on me without me being able to fucking defend myself.
All right, we're not going to go back there because what I was going to say is...
Because I'm right this time.
Check it out there.
Maybe I will give him the episode.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
But episode 105, Scarlatta Scan, the 2-year anniversary show, we had our boy Steven Scarlatta on.
Yeah, we did.
We talked a little bit more about Jodorowsky's Dune, the film that he produced, and then we reviewed Brain Scan because he fucking loves that movie. So
Was Brain Scan here?
No.
Okay.
At least I don't think
No,
so.
it wasn't.
No, couldn't have been.
No, it was at the old.
Yeah, it was
studio.
It was the 2-year anniversary show. So yeah, it was a while ago. So yeah, so that was episode 105, Paps. If you want to go back, and I'll play the rest of your voicemail, and I'll look up the Shockma episode.
But I recently cruised through the Venture Brothers series in preparation for the new season, and I wanted to ask you guys what it is within the next couple months that you are looking forward to, whether it be TV, movie, music. What are you guys looking forward to coming out soon? All right, look forward to listening tonight. Have a great show, and peace.
All right, we have a part 2 from Paps, but let's go ahead and answer that question before we play the rest. Anyone have an answer? What are you looking forward to?
There's a
next few months.
shitload of movies actually coming out. Like probably like if they actually come out, we'll have a fucking have to do a triple cram jam. But I'm excited for the Suspiria remake. Believe it or not, I am.
The trailer looks great.
Yeah,
Oh, doesn't
and
it,
I am excited for the new film by the folks who did Turbo Kid.
Yep, Summer of '84.
I am excited for that Nick Cage joint.
Oh, Mandy, yeah.
I am super duper. I'm excited. People can make fun of me, but I thought the fucking another reference that I didn't think would get mentioned so many times on this. I am excited, even though it looks like hot garbage, for the Goosebumps sequel. And I am also very excited. There's this weird movie whose name I can't fucking remember, which is basically about like this like theme park that's actually like you have to get through like this supernatural theme park that's actually full of like monsters and movie trope things. It kind of looks like a more like an equally snarky but a little more like in your face like Cabin in the Woods. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny.
I think Mars took most of mine, so
sorry.
no, it's all right. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think right now Mandy is probably the one I'm most looking forward to. And also, I really want everyone else to see The Ranger. Did you happen? You caught that at Buff, didn't you, Skip? I think I saw you at the screening.
Yes. I loved it. I absolutely loved that movie.
And
it was so much fun.
Absolutely. I don't know what the distribution looks like, if there is distribution yet. If not, I'm sure there will be soon because it was such a fun movie. So
I spoke with Jen because actually I'm going to be meeting her up at
nice.
in Montreal.
Okay, cool.
And she does have a distribution deal.
Oh, excellent.
But they're
That's
actually
great.
They're showing it up there, and I think it's at Fright Fest too. I mean, it's
great.
hitting all the big ones.
Yeah, that's amazing because I don't know if that was the debut. I don't know if it was the premiere. Anyways, but it was at least the Boston premiere of The Ranger, and that was I'd only got to see a couple films, and that was one of the ones that I needed to go see, and I'm really glad I got a chance to catch that one there, and so that's one I'm looking forward to seeing again, and looking forward to other people seeing, because I really enjoyed that. The other one, actually, Mars, you did forget one that I don't know if it's coming out this year. Actually, I hope it does, but Housewife, the new Can Evernall film. Can did Baskin, which we loved. So I'm really looking forward to Housewife. And who was it that saw it? Was it Tim from Korea, or
it was Dane?
Dane, that's it. Yeah, Dane saw it in Australia, the film fest there, and he said he loved it. He said it was one of his favorite movies ever. So really looking forward to Housewife, and I think that's probably it for me. Those are the ones I'm most looking forward to. In terms of, I'm trying to think. One thing I'm looking forward to, I'm going to see a concert in a couple weeks here. I'm going to see Slayer, Anthrax, Testament.
Jeez.
Again?
Lamb of God. And is it Napalm Death? It's a ridiculous lineup. So
where are they playing?
It's in New Hampshire. It's about 2 hours away. So unfortunately, the tour didn't come to Boston, so I had to go elsewhere. And they had tickets available for one of the casinos in Connecticut. I can't remember.
It was Foxwoods.
Yeah.
Was it? The tickets were insane.
They're outrageous.
Really?
Like I couldn't I would have had to sell something to go see it. So I saw they were going on a second leg of the tour, and there was one in New Hampshire, so I was able to get those seats and paid like $75 for like right near the front. So
no, what I just got an alert of on the way here, and I was in the convenience store, so I forgot to tell Aries, but. And he probably isn't excited as I am, but I might be able to cross the last one off the bucket list because The Damned is coming to Boston in October.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I've can't get enough of those guys.
Cool.
Any guys? Anything else?
It's still a while way out, but we talked about it a while back, Johnny, about the Russo's brothers developing the Quantum and Woody TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently it's got a home on TBS.
Interesting.
Which I'm surprised by that. But
yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, there's no real news yet, but it just kind of cements what we talked about a while back. So, yeah, I'm intrigued.
Okay, looking forward to that too.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see when I'm up in Montreal, the man who killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So I know it's screening up there. I just hopefully I will have that night off.
That'd be cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Suspiria remake, and I'm hoping. I mean, it got canceled, but I'm hoping somebody picks up that Tremors TV show. I really do. I have a feeling someone is going to pick it up. I don't know who, but
did it even come out?
No, it got canceled. They
there was a pilot.
There was a pilot.
Yeah, and it did
they
get
had
picked
a
up.
trailer, and Kevin Bacon is back.
Really?
Yeah, but
for one episode or for the series?
The series.
Well, they only made one episode,
yeah,
so who knows?
but he would have been back for the whole thing. But I feel pretty optimistic. I think someone is going to pick it up, and that's what I'm rooting for. So that's what I'm hoping that comes out.
Aries?
I'm excited that Christmas is coming.
I am too.
That's a little ways off, but
Yeah, I like Christmas.
I'm looking forward to it.
You don't like Christmas?
Hey.
I do.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm about to do something outrageous.
What are you going to do?
Know what I'm excited for?
Your birthday?
Christmas.
October 12th.
Oh, wow.
Worcester, Massachusetts. The Palladium, the DCU Center, and most importantly, the Cove Music Hall on the 12th. The Trick or Treat Radio Masquerade Extravaganza. It is gonna, and I gotta tell you, you guys are gonna be fucking stoked at some of the stuff that I have lined up. But here's something exciting for the first time ever. And I'm gonna wait to have this person come on and do it, but I'll do a little thing. It's not just the Trick or Treat Radio Masquerade Extravaganza.
Ooh.
There is another show involved, and it is going to be the biggest one yet. So,
all right,
I'm excited for that.
That's called a tease, folks.
Real professional tease there. I would say. That was really good.
So yeah, no, I'm really excited. That's a great. I'm glad you called that out because I was thinking of media in terms of movies and TV. But yeah, that's always the best time of the year, the best weekend of the year. And we always have so much fun. We have so many friends. So it is a good time to start talking about it, though, Morris, because if anyone out there is interested in coming, we will be hosting a whole bunch of events. The Deadites will be playing. We got a lot going on. So we had a bunch of people come up for it last year, and we hope that a lot of you guys do this year as well. And that's October 12th, 13th, 14th, and it's going to be a ton of fun. We'll have more information about that as we get a little closer, but lots of awesome stuff coming for that. So, anyone else have anything before we move on?
I just want to make sure people know that the beds are limited at Raven Shadows, so book them early.
That's true, yeah.
Well, then we'll bring out the tables, Aries.
Aries, get the tables.
We're tired.
Aries,
it's been a long day.
get the beds.
Aries, turn down the tables. Company's here.
Turn down the tables.
Is there a water table? That's very comfy.
Water table. It's under a canopy.
Can you clear the dishes off of this? I got to go to sleep in a little bit.
Nana's back hurts.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's listen to the rest, or the second part, rather, of Pabst's voicemail. Here we go.
Hey guys, real quick. I looked up what the question of the week was, and actually wanted to answer it. So, it said what your favorite on-screen exorcisms was. And I don't know if I would quite call it my favorite, but the most recent one I saw that I thought was hilarious and ridiculous and over the top was I recently watched the old Mexican horror movie Alucarda, where they attempt to kind of exorcise one of the girls who starts getting involved with Satanism in that movie, and having the nuns thrashing around on the floor and stabbing her with the little needle dagger and reading scripture and all that shit, and just being super ridiculous and theatrical and over the top and dumb and campy, and just I thought it was great. That whole movie was kind of fucking ridiculous, but I thought it was really cool that it was kind of lost for a while, and they found a negative of it recently. They thought it was gone for decades and stuff. But yeah, I'll stop fucking rambling, and I'll try to just leave one voicemail next time. Sorry about that, and peace.
No way, Paps. Leave as many as you want. Well, within reason. But no, that's I've actually I remember hearing about it, and I wanted to see it, but I have not done so yet. I want to say it was on Shudder. Can anyone validate that?
Alucarda?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
All right. So maybe not, but it looks like you can get it on disc through Amazon, so I don't know how you can actually see it, and that's Alucarda.
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 Hey, Mr. Alucarda.
Hey, Mr. Alucarda.
Wow. Ooh.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So.
Is that what the scarf is for?
What?
No.
Come on, Mars.
Yeah,
we
I
know
wish.
it is.
Well, it is now. Originally, it was because you could see fucking light through my neck. But
We literally just got another voicemail within a couple minutes ago, and this is from someone we haven't heard from in a long time. It's very short. You want to hear it, Raven Shadow?
Yes.
All right.
This is a chocolate chic. That no good Jew jabroni son of a bitch cookie puss. I put him in the caramel clutch. And that punk Fudgy the Whale, I fuck his ass. Have a good day.
Chocolate shake.
Play that for Aries.
I put him in the caramel clutch.
Yeah.
The caramel clutch.
give Aries those.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a great
That's
pun.
really not good. No, it's fine.
No, we can play it again. It's
Yeah.
short. It's fine.
Yeah, you should.
Aries, you should hear it.
I'm
So
willing to go through another round of
yeah.
that.
All right, here we go.
This is a chocolate chic. That no good Jew jabroni son of a bitch cookie puss. I put him in the caramel clutch. And that punk Fudgy the Whale, I fuck his ass. Have a good day.
I didn't know Cookie Puss was Jewish.
Wow.
We can't confirm that.
To be fair, neither's
we-
neither's B. Brian Blair, but it never never fucking slowed down the chic.
Yeah, wowzers.
Wow.
Wow.
Chocolate chic.
Chocolate
It's
Chic.
been a while.
I've been on a B. Brian Blair kick lately.
Oh, fuck the B. Brian.
That was fucking amazing. Thank you,
Wow.
Chocolate Chic.
That was really a good chocolate chic.
He's got a feud. What's their? Is there like a stable? Fudgy the Whale. And
I
Cookie
thought you
Puss?
meant the Chocolate Beast, who we haven't heard from in a while, and the Chocolate Chic.
Well,
They're
they are a
always
stable.
yeah.
Or a
There
tag
was-
team.
There was Fudgy the Whale, Cookie Puss,
And Cookie
And
Oprah.
that fucking
Puss.
bear.
Yeah, the hug along. The bear didn't count. Didn't really fit.
Huggy Bear.
Huggy Bear. It wasn't Huggy Bear. That was Tasky and Hush.
Oh man, that's a great way to kind of wrap things up, I think. And by the way, Pabst, if you're listening still, the Shockma episode 133. That would be a lost episode, I think.
Yeah.
If
You could see everybody try to get over at my expense because they know they can't fuss with me when I'm here.
fuss or fucks.
No, I would never say that. I wear pants with a button.
Most of the time.
Yeah, well, it has to be fair.
When I have pants on at all.
But no, we did talk about Shockma on that. And by the way, Pabst, if your friend who runs the screenings at Cinema Salem, if your friend ever wants to call in and promote them, let them know that they're able to do that. Or if you want to do it for them, that's fine as well. Because I would always like to promote new screenings, and I would actually like to know about those too, because I like Cinema Salem and I like what they're doing there, and obviously they're doing it for a good cause as well. So that's cool.
You like cinema and you like Salem.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They're probably on fucking Wednesdays like everything else I want to do.
Yeah, probably.
Chocolate chic.
Speaking of, looks like Serrana came to hang out.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
He says, hello, listening to you guys at the gym. Woo!
Nice.
We're sorry.
Wow. That's dedication at the gym at midnight.
Shouldn't mess around.
No. Not messing around at all. No. Oily Maniac says Frankenfast Tony versus Chow Mummy. That might be the episode title. We got a lot of contenders
That's true,
tonight.
yeah.
Frankenfast, because someone had mentioned that is Chow Mummy the main villain of Fast Tony.
Yeah.
Oh. So that was his take on that.
It is now.
I love Oily so much.
Who said that?
Oily?
No.
Well, that's why he loves him.
It's true. And that, and because, like,
I love Oily too.
yeah, when I'm fucking furious on Thursdays, he usually calls me. It makes me feel good.
Ooh.
When you got a fury in your pants.
Yeah.
He brings it down.
All right, so we're going to start to wrap up. Skip, once again, if you could, please let folks know where they can find out more information about the Shawn O'Shea Film Festival and anything else that you have going on.
We'll stick with the festival. Just Shawn O'Shea Film Festival. Actually, if you Google it, you'll find us on Facebook. You'll find us on Twitter. You'll find us. You'll find the website. Then you'll find out more about the foundation. The festival will be held in beautiful Southbridge, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Oh yes.
So I hope everyone check it out and come on down.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we can most of, if not all of us, can make an appearance this year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm dying to go.
So looking forward to that. Can't wait to hear more about what you guys are going to be screening and the programming and everything. So it'll be really exciting. And obviously, best of luck to you, Skip, when you head up to Fantasia. That's the one, right? Fantasia.
Yep.
Okay, because Frontiers is part of it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Frontiers is the market, the film market. So that's where I'll be.
Yes. Okay. So best of luck, and hopefully some good stuff comes out of that. And we really appreciate you coming to hang out with us again and add some intelligence to the conversation and grounding us a little bit. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for actually indulging me again.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, we love it, man. All right, MZ, why don't you say your goodbyes?
Hey, arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Goodbye.
Man of many words.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
All right, Marsman.
Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are. Unless you're an island, and then that's fucking terrible.
And Serrana says, I'm working out while listening to you guys and watching a show on Little People. This is effing surreal.
That's real.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, what show?
It's like a show about little people, or this show being projected on little people?
Yeah, that might be it, Aries. That's
a
weird gym. It's like a German expression. It's like sort of fucking gym.
Might get me to go to the gym. Gonna break it up a little bit.
Planet Lollipop Guild.
24-hour Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog.
Because you have to remember that even the wolves started small.
And they grew into giant big men. All right, well, that is going to do it for episode 311 of Trick or Treat Radio. Next week, we're going to be talking about... Oh, that was bad. Next week, we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place. If you guys would like to play along at home, check it out, and then leave us your thoughts in email form, or, as always, we prefer voice message podcast at trickortreatradio.com. And then, actually, the week after that, which would be episode 313, is, as Dynamo loves it when we celebrate, it is our 6-year anniversary. Wow. So, as of now, we don't really have anything planned, but we'll see if we could maybe, I don't know. Once you start getting up to 6, it's just kind of like, all right.
Yeah, not for nothing, but you guys are fucked when I'm the humble one.
You're the chocolate cheek?
I wasn't humble at first, but he made me humble.
Oh, shit.
You got the caramel clutch for sure.
Caramel clutch.
That might be one of the greatest things ever.
Yeah, that's
the
pretty
caramel
good.
Clutch.
That's up there.
All right, well, that is going to do it. So we'll see you guys next week for episode 312. We appreciate you coming and checking us out. And for everyone who hung out in the chat room, you guys are awesome. And everyone that's going to check us out on the podcast, we thank you guys. And once again, leave those 5-star reviews if you can. We'd love it. See you next week.